Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Draft Degenerates podcast, and it is the final episode this year before the NFL draft on Thursday night at 8 p.m. in the city I did call my home briefly, and unfortunately do not right now, but that's okay. It's okay. City of Pittsburgh. I'll figure it out. But this is our last show before the draft kicks off. It is our big board episode, and this time it's 3 times as big as last time, which is kind of hilarious if you think about it.
I forgot we only did 50
Yeah, we
last
did
time.
top
I
50,
looked at
yeah.
my board last year and I was like, this is so small.
Yeah, and that's what. Look at the
compared to this
size of
year,
that
yeah.
board. No, it's not even that big compared to a
Not a
lot
big
of
boy
people
board.
do. But yeah, well, yeah. But it's 3 times as big as it was last year, which is we'll have a lot more to talk about with it. But we'll get into that here briefly. But we're also going to do our only real, technically predictive mock that we do, because it's not that fun to predict the draft, in my opinion, in the first round until especially like this point when we really get all the final kind of rumors and what insiders are saying and all that stuff. It's a lot more fun to do what we would do, and that's what we've been doing. But we will do a predictive mock like everyone does. So that'll finish off the show. But the bulk of this is going to be, or should be the bulk of it, I'll say that, is talking about our big boards, which, as it tends to be when there's 3 different people all evaluating players, even though I feel like we kind of lined up more this year a little bit overall on players, I do expect there to be some pretty big discrepancies. I've gotten a good look at both your boards, so I know there's going to be some. You guys really haven't seen mine at all since we didn't end up doing the consensus.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yet, which we will have a consensus board, at least we should, by the time the draft rolls around, and that's the one that we'll be looking at when we do our live show, which is going to be on day 1 of the draft, possibly day 2 as well. Dalton's talked about maybe trying to head that one up. I unfortunately will probably be swamped by the fact that I cover 2 teams who make up like a 7th of the entirety of the day 2
I
picks.
was looking at the Dolphins picks after you said that, and it's just like third round. Yeah. So over and over again.
So I will probably be too busy, getting absolutely destroyed by the amount of picks that I'll have to cover. So I'll try to appear on that one if we do it, but we'll definitely all be around for day 1. So definitely tune in for that.
I'll definitely be around for day 2, just because that's when the Raiders actually have a draft.
You guys get the honorary "we've known your pick for like 4 months" situation going on.
Yeah.
So that's
first time in my life I've had that. I mean, the Jamarcus pick was that was the last time they had the number 1 overall pick, but that was not
hopefully this one goes better.
I knew who was going to come off the board. I mean,
right.
I wasn't sure if it was going to be Jamarcus, somebody else, or Brady Quinn, or somebody else.
There's this really tall receiver that people like that maybe you could have taken. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. Hopefully this number 1 overall quarterback, I mean, it's going to be better. It couldn't possibly be worse, actually. I'm not even going to say it. Unless Fernando Mendoza literally dies on his way to Las Vegas, that would be the only way it gets worse than
Don't you put that evil on me,
Bobby. I don't want that to, he's a very innocent man, it appears. So I don't want that to happen to him. Very nice kid from what we can tell. Point is, that's what it would probably take for that to happen realistically. But anyway, you will be able to talk a lot more about the Raiders on day 2 for sure, because we haven't had a lot of conversation around that pick, because why would you do it? It's kind of a moot point. What are we really going to talk about? Now, there's talk as early as pick 2, which we'll talk about that when we get there. But it's going to definitely be a fun first round. I think we could get a lot of movement, specifically teams trying desperately to not pick where they're currently picking, and specifically picking later. We'll see if the rest of the draft abides by that and the rest of the teams abide by that. But I think we'll see that.
There's one team that apparently is looking to move up, and it's the Chiefs, apparently.
Which
for offensive line.
So
I'm guessing that means they're second. They're trying to move up from their second pick.
I certainly hope so, because I don't hate the offensive lineman in this class, but moving up from 9 to take one,
that'd
fascinate me.
That'd be weird. But then again, Mauino would probably be a 10-year All-Pro.
Oh, it's not that he would be bad. It's just that you're picking at 9. Like, if he doesn't get you to 9, just take someone else. It's not the end of the world. Like, we're not talking about Joe Alt level players here or anything like that. It's not what we're dealing with. At least I don't think so.
I have top 10 grades on some of these guys. And I think I had a top 5 grade on Alt, if I remember
right.
correctly.
And that's kind of the point. Is if you're moving up from 9 in a draft, like, hey,
yeah,
like we'll see. But
and then also the team. Did you guys see the Seahawks GM was just like, yeah, we're trading back. Everyone knows this. We're trading back. We're even going to trade back within our division if we have to.
Well, first of all, there's not going to be a player at 30. Yeah, there's not going to be a player at 32 where they're like, we have to take this guy. There just isn't probably going to be that. And they don't have picks. They have 4 picks.
He's like, we have 4
of course
picks.
They're trading down.
Back.
Like, I kind of hope that what I would hope is if the Dolphins don't move back from 30 and stick and pick there, if they're going to do that, I hope that they take someone at 30 and then come back up and get even a third guy. Just get rid of some of that capital that isn't going to be probably getting you good players and get an extra like third first round.
Make Shane work less on day 2.
Well, maybe that's part of it, but also I just think that makes sense because then the Seahawks would move down 11 spots if they come up from 43 where the Dolphins are picking in the second round. That's a decent drop, so they'd probably get either a late day 2 pick or an early day 3 pick to do that. Maybe some other picks like that type of stuff would make sense for the Seahawks for sure. Maybe we'll explore that because we could do trades in our mock. I know it kind of gets hairy when you do that, but it would probably make a little bit more sense if we did. So we'll get there for sure.
Another team that might move up more. I've been thinking about it. The Raiders actually could move back into the first round from 36 because they have 3 4th-round picks.
Yeah, they do. And they have a lot of needs in free agency, so you don't necessarily need to be taking a bunch of 4th-round players to fill out.
And they also missed out on they're going to miss out on like most of the top players in the draft because they have to take Mendoza. So like if
they got to do it.
Yeah.
Got to take your vegetables. It's weird to say that about a quarterback, but kind of is what it is.
I mean, he is the vegetables of quarterbacks.
Yeah. hey, let's not. That first of all, rough sentence. Just saying.
Not what I mean.
Rough sentence to say. I know this.
He's not that immobile,
but it's just a rough sentence to hear about a quarterback taking number 1 overall. Even though I do like Mendoza plenty, but it is funny to say.
I mean, they're drafting Kirk Cousins number 1 overall. Like that's what they're doing. And that's why they brought in the actual Kirk Cousins to mentor him because that's what Mendoza's going to be, and that's okay.
I still think his ceiling is higher than Kirk Cousins, but that's beside the point.
He's a little bigger.
I guess the problem with Kirk Cousins is like us as a ceiling pick is like I have no idea what that really means at this point because it feels like it's been too long since he's been like.
It means he's gonna play really well at 1 p.m. on Sunday.
But I don't think he's that type of player though. Like I think he's a big game player from what we've seen. Yeah, that's not even the comp, but like I know what you're trying to say. Though.
What I'm saying is he's a guy that you can win with, like, but if you're gonna win a Super Bowl with him, a lot more like everything. Like you have to get a lot of things right for it to work.
Right. I think most obviously like outside of like 7 quarterbacks at any given time, that's the case for. So that's not necessarily like the end of the world. Like I kind of think a closer comparison in terms of not necessarily the play style, but then we'll get to it when we talk about him in a minute or later. I think the closer comparison is like the best version of CJ Stroud we've seen, where like he was all about the arm, the ability to push the ball down the field and the accuracy, but he wasn't like this hyper mobile player. Even Stroud, he was a little bit more of a playmaker than he was at Ohio State so far, but not even
Stroud
really.
More arm talent than Mendoza.
I think it's close enough that I'm not that worried about him not being able to do a lot of the same stuff with his arm, I would say. Because like Stroud is not necessarily this like he's not an elastic thrower the way that some of the other like top quarterbacks are either. The same way Mendoza's not either. But anyway, again, we'll talk about him later in this episode when we get to that portion of the big boards. But I want to jump into that. Obviously, we're going to start from 150 for each of us. We'll kind of do the first 50-ish names, just see if there's any that we want to point out. You guys can point out mine, vice versa. I'm willing to throw myself out there first if you guys want to do that.
Let's do it.
I don't mind sacrificing myself here first at the expense of maybe being laughed at, depending on who's there. There's a couple guys in that bottom group that one of the first one, and it's pick one. It's 150 on the board. I did it because I felt like I had to, and also because if I didn't, I felt like you guys would like run me out of the room. So I'll get to that in a second. But let me pull up my my board here.
I'm trying to think who we're both high on that you hate.
Well, I don't even so much hate him. I just don't know what I would do with him at this point.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
that
it's
tracks.
Taylor Green. It's Taylor Green. Yeah, quarterback out of Arkansas.
Ooh.
I put him. He's the problem is I got to like that portion of my board. I'm like, well, I've gone through all the quarterbacks ahead of him. I don't necessarily like. There's players that are in the same range for me that I could put here instead. But if I don't talk about Taylor Green at all, it's probably going to be looked at poorly by literally everyone, basically, including you two. So yeah, like
I will say he's in a different spot on my board.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He to me he's a 5th round quarterback prospect. Like that's what he is. Like he's a guy that you're taking solely because of how dynamic of an athlete he is, not because of anything he's really done at this point as a quarterback, in my opinion. Do I think there's like that astronomical like shoot for the moon outcome where he's a capable starting quarterback that has electric moments? Yeah, but I still ultimately I think even though I want him to get the opportunity to play quarterback like I do with anyone who's a great athlete who wants to play quarterback, I think his NFL future is at a different position ultimately. So I couldn't really rank him very highly as a quarterback in this exercise. So but that's definitely someone that I wanted to start with here. And then really, so this you can see right now on the screen for those watching, like you can see 126 roughly down to 150. So the first half of my bottom 50 here. Any names you guys want to point out that you think that is interesting that's in this range that either because of where you're going to have them later and you don't have to reveal that necessarily, but where you have them questions you have about kind of where I'm at with some of these guys.
Bryce Betcher's interesting.
Okay.
I think I don't think he quite made my board.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a guy I wanted to like more.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just had trouble seeing him as an NFL player. Where did he end up being?
137 on my board is where he ended up being. So
yeah, he ended up being I had a 6th round grade, so he would have probably been somewhere in like the 180s for me.
Right, which I think generally like I don't have too much of a qualm with that. I really don't. I think when it came to linebackers in this range, like he was one of the last guys I had in like that just outside of the early day 3 range. So he kind of made it not by default, but he was one of the last guys in that range for me that I had full write-ups on. So I think he's probably a special teamer, ideally. Like in this kind of we're in the 5th round. Like I'm not expecting this guy to play a ton of linebacker, but still, like that's someone I struggled with a lot, and I ultimately decided to put him down here because I just don't believe in this archetype of player, even though I think he's maybe a little bit better of a version of it than some of the guys that have failed recently. Zachariah Branch out of Georgia is 135 for me. I don't know where you guys ultimately landed on him. Half his catches were screens, man. I don't know what to do with that. I'm just going to be honest with you.
That's very fair.
I'm not sure how to evaluate him as a player because we didn't get a lot of real receiver stuff with him on tape, and what we got wasn't like horrendous or anything, but he's a smaller player who was used in that way. And I just wonder, is it the Georgia being weird or is it just how he needs to be used to be an effective player? I don't really know with him.
Yeah, he was 92 on my board. My main thing was I don't know if he's he's wide receiver 15 for me. So I'm not that high on him.
And on the consensus board, by the way, because I'll shout this out for players that especially are like very different compared to either all of our rankings or mine or whatever. 66 on the consensus board right now.
I'm like our consensus or
no, so we didn't get I don't have my consensus yet.
The mock draft database.
Yeah, like when I talk about that, it's gonna always be the mock draft database, guys. Just so you know that.
But yeah,
66 on their board. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just see him as more of a football player. Right. I think he's gonna do something. Especially
That's
special
fair.
teams, maybe.
Yeah, return value and stuff like that. But for me, if I think he's primarily going to be a gadget guy and a return man, he's not going to be drafted higher than the 4th, 5th round for me then anyway. But he's interesting. I'll give him that. I just didn't really know what to do.
I think he was late 50s on my board, 58.
Okay. So you're closer to consensus on.
So I was definitely higher on him, but I get the concerns. The route tree is not very expansive, obviously. Not a huge catch radius, but kind of like Dalton said, I think the upside is so high with him, and he just is a football player. Like, I don't know, but I get with especially with how talented this receiver class is. There's a lot of guys that can do a lot more than him, so I get why you'd have him this low.
Like, honestly, that's why like the player right below him is Josh Cameron from Baylor. He's just what if this guy was, instead of explosive, what if he was big and a running back, basically playing receiver?
He is a running back. He's a running back pretending to play. I mean, that number. I'm sorry.
Well,
that number.
I mean, that messes with
it just makes me mad.
Yeah, like, Dalton's not a numbers guy for when it comes to allowing guys to wear whatever they want. Very much not so.
I mean, but yeah, to that extent, like, that's just gross.
Oh, it's not great. It's like Sky Moore wearing 24, whatever the fuck it was. Like,
we can't. I can kind of get on board with. Yeah. I don't know. 34 is just disgusting. It
is pretty disgusting. But again, like, he's a guy that's probably going to be a gadgety type of guy, like a run after catch threat only. Like, they're in similar ranges for me, frankly. Like, and with Cameron, I think he's just a bigger player and therefore might have more utility in the NFL and in an NFL offense. So I kind of like, the only reason he's lower is because he doesn't have, I don't think, any sort of return ability or anything like that to kind of fall back on if he doesn't work as a receiver. So, but that's why they're kind of in the same range for me, because I don't really think there's that big of a difference from how you'll use them, frankly. Any other names in this section you guys want to shout out? Or
I like you having Nolan Rucci on there. He just missed mine, I think, but I've seen him pretty low. Like, I think on Mock Draft Database, he's in like the 250s or something.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of upside with him. Like, he moves well. He's got a good frame.
I believe he was a former either 4 or 5 star from Wisconsin. I know that he was a very highly recruited player whenever he came in. Was definitely a big guy. I think 6'8".
His frame is huge.
Yeah, he's a big frame. Didn't test well, which I was a little surprised by. I always felt like he was a good mover, especially the 40 was just gross. But like, also, how much do you really care about that when it comes? Like, I don't know how much I care too much.
But he moves. He moves well though. Like on film, he's pretty fluid.
34-inch arms. Like, he is a tackle. Like, he is a true tackle, which not a lot of guys down the board that are like tackles, like actual tackles. So. I could see him latching on with a team late as kind of like a swing tackle eventually. So,
I'm trying to see where I had him on my board, and I'm wondering if I accidentally like misplaced him.
I thought he was gonna be on mine when I made it, but I just looked before I brought that up, and he wasn't on mine. So he would have been like right on the outside. So we probably honestly were in a pretty similar spot with him.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. I think if you like him at all, then you're going to have him sort of in this range. If you don't, you'll have him closer to where the database has, or the overall consensus mock has him. A player that I want to talk about for a second, because he's someone that, like, we did our running back episode a long time ago at this point, right? Jamarian Miller from Alabama, he just makes my list. I think if he was healthy during Alabama's season, I think 1, their run game would be better, and 2, I think that he'd be talked about a little bit more. Really good athlete for the running back position, and not anything insane, but a very good one. And I think that if, again, he can stay healthy and get healthy generally, then he's a guy that's built well. I think he was 5'10", just over 210 pounds. Like, I think he could have a chance of kind of sticking on a roster and maybe getting into a committee at some point. So I wanted to shout him out for sure. I don't think either of you would have him in your top 150. I doubt it.
Who was it again?
Jamarian Miller from Alabama, the running back. Yeah, I didn't think so. Have to talk about Carson Beck at 144.
I saw a report today.
Okay.
I forgot what insider it was from, but
Pelissero?
Apparently some teams are Pelissero. Apparently some teams are considering trading back into the first for Carson Beck.
Yeah, that's a certifiable fireable.
That is
for me.
That is an interesting decision to make. And I'm honestly higher on Beck than most, but that's first round.
Yeah. Can't get there with that. He's 5th round pick for me. I would take him till then. Mostly because I think his arm is shot, frankly, from what I've seen. Like, if he was the same like level of player and level of thrower that he was at Georgia a couple years ago, and he had the season he just had, he'd probably be closer to like a 3rd round pick for me if I had to guess. Still not somebody that I'm banking on becoming a starter ever, but probably someone I'm more willing to accept as a long-term backup and spot starter. I just didn't see enough on his film this year.
That UCL injury really makes me worry about him and like
it's just
the wind or like the cold. Like that's
Yeah. See, I was a little higher on him than that. I think I was because I kind of
I had him.
He's 102 for me.
100, I think.
Yeah. So again, like in the grand scheme of things, like it's a day 3 quarterback though. Like at the end of the day, like whatever you want to take him on day 3. Day 3 quarterback.
I had him 75.
Yeah.
Well, that means, Jake, that you are a certified fan of Carson Beck, and therefore,
don't call me that.
No, I'm just kidding.
Don't call me that.
He's my number 3 day 3 guy.
Right. So it's one of those. It's for me. It's just I don't like the fact that he looked the way he did after the injury. Someone I know that Dalton's probably going to see right here. Nick Singleton at 130. I'll be honest with you. I went into this exercise. I didn't know if he'd make it. Was not sure, but he did at 130. So Dalton can't yell at me that I left him off entirely. So
no, you're good.
So
we're not that far off. We're within 50 of each other on that one.
That one I get. I did expect it to be like nothing insane, but I was like, we're gonna be far apart on that one. I know.
Yeah, he's 89 for me.
Yeah, which again, like, sure. And this, like, but the problem with the running back class is like, who's good outside of like, for me, there's like 2 really good ones, or 1 really good one great one, and then a bunch of like ones I can see the vision with, and then after that's like, yeah.
How many were in your top fit? How many were in your 150 running backs?
I didn't number them, but I'm pretty sure it was like 10.
That's what I had.
Yeah, 1. Yeah, I think it was around that amount. Yeah, it was there. It's tough this year, man. It's just not. It's really not awesome. It's rough. Some other ones that I wanted to throw out. So I know you're a big fan of Eli Raridan, Dalton. 123 for me. I went back and watched him again because he was actually lower. Would have been lower than this when I originally watched him. I can see it a little bit. I still think. I wonder if he's like a coordinated enough athlete, in my opinion, to kind of be a receiving threat the way that I think he needs to be to hold a lot of value. But I think he's at least like a end of middle of 4th round type of player is where I kind of have him at this point. So
what number did you have him at?
123, I believe.
123.
Yeah.
He is 48 for me.
Yeah, I knew you liked him a lot, and you're not alone. There's other guys that I've seen have him pretty far up there. So
I just think like you can I just feel like there's just a possibility that he is a freak in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't see the athleticism on tape. That's what it came down to for me. There's a player that I want to shout out because I really don't know what to do with this player because I kind of don't know if he can play in the NFL, frankly. Torian York out of Texas A&M. He's just so small, man, and he's not dynamic enough to like. There's a player that is not that much bigger than him that I have much higher on my board that I've decided how I want to use him, and therefore I can put him higher on my board. I can't do that with Torian York, unfortunately, but I had to respect him because if he was like a normal size linebacker, he might be like linebacker 2 or 3 in this class because he's really good at all the linebacker stuff. He just physically can't do anything about it sometimes. Like he just can't do it. And I feel bad for him, but it is what it is. But I wanted to shout him out here too.
Yeah. He missed mine by a little bit. He's linebacker 11 for me at a 6th round grade. I just think
it's fine.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where, like, I'm not 100% sure he can stick as a special teamer and backup.
That's the problem. I had to respect the level of play that he showed at Texas A&M. But I don't know if it translates. I just don't. I just can't know for sure. That one's tough. Mike Washington Jr., when I finally got around to him, I feel like very similar to him that I did with Isaac Rendo a couple years ago, where I really like the one cut explosiveness, like the ability to get explosive plays. I just wonder if he has the down to down stability to like actually lead a backfield ultimately. Right. Like that's ultimately the issue with him is I think if he's your second back and someone who you give 8 to 10 touches to and hope one of them is a breakaway run, probably going to be a good NFL player for a long time. If he gets drafted, I mean, the 2nd round, like what a lot of people project him right now, I just don't know if he'll return value on that is the problem. So what'd you guys think of him?
You can go, Jake.
Who is it? Sorry, my screen is like glitching. I'm trying to.
Mike Washington Jr., the Arkansas running back.
Oh, let me check.
I had him at 117.
Yeah, okay, I had him at 87. So
okay,
a little bit higher, but not like super high. I had a late third on him.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's still around the same-ish range. Like, yeah, it's just I do just think he's like the second back in a committee, and specifically one that's supposed to be that like explosive player for you. So don't dislike him at all. Someone I struggled with a ton. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Dalton.
Sorry, he was 106 for me. Yeah.
So he's we're almost in between each other, kind of. With him. Someone I had to I want to shout out here because I don't know where you guys landed on him. Bryce Lance, the North Dakota State receiver, 116 for me. I just don't think he has natural like receiver ability in terms of the ability to catch the football consistently.
Correct.
And he did nothing he did felt natural.
Correct.
And it was just really weird. Like, I don't doubt that if he figures it out, he'll be really good and like probably where he'll get drafted, which I would guess is in the 3rd round at this point, maybe higher.
Blows my mind.
But yeah, I put him up here because I understand the athletic ability is there, and I do think that if he can figure out some of that stuff, he'll be good. But I don't know if he'll really be able to do much of anything as a rookie, especially, and might take him a couple years to get. If he's going to settle in and be a good player, it might take a while.
Yeah. You know what the problem with that is, Shane?
Yeah.
He's going to be 24 as a rookie.
Well, aren't they all?
Yeah, but like they're not supposed to be that raw. Now, I am what you would call a North Dakota State hater.
Well,
but
it's a tough thing to put out on the internet. Everybody loves North Dakota State.
But I'm sorry, I have a 6th round grade on him. Like, I get like there is some football IQ that is nice, but the only the problem is he just looks so raw, and he's getting by with mostly athleticism, which is going to look a lot different in the NFL. I just don't think he's that good of an athlete. And like the only tape we have of him against an NFL corner, against an NFL caliber corner, is a couple of years ago when he was lined up against Travis Hunter and struggled. And Travis Hunter is, that's still a developing NFL corner. Probably going to be a good one. But, like, I don't know. When we finally saw him actually face, like, real competition that he might see in the NFL, he just looked really outmatched. Now, granted, that was a few years ago. But, I mean, it's just so hard to project. And I just don't think he's good enough of an athlete and young and has enough upside to, like, project a lot of upside. And like, you can't really project a high floor on him when like the tape is against nobody.
There's some bad teams in NDSU's conference last year.
Yeah, it was not good. That was part of the problem with Cole Payton for me, because you'll see his name pretty soon here, and it's really just all projection with him. Unfortunately, it's just kind of what it is. But like, it literally is like, it's just, I have no idea. You could tell me any outcome with him and Payton, and I'd believe it. I'd be like, all right. Like, if you told me, oh yeah, Bryce Lance was actually literally just Christian Watson again, I'd be like, all right, cool, fun. Or if he's like, oh yeah, he didn't play a game, I'd be like, well, all right. It happens sometimes that way. Where did you land on him, Jake?
I had him pretty much same as you. I had a 4th round grade on him, but I had him at 96. So not very far apart. Yeah,
and consensus right now on him is 88. So definitely like a firm 3rd round pick, which
he might have been closer to 188 for me.
Yeah. So that's kind of the issue. Some other names here I find interesting. Did either of you end up watching? And we'll stop here for me at 100 here. Caleb Proctor from Southeastern Louisiana.
I did not. I keep seeing that name pop up though.
I watched a little bit of him, but he didn't make my one.
He's fun. Is the best way I can describe his if you're gonna watch him before the draft, Alden, which I don't know if you're going to at this point because it's Tuesday right now and the draft is Tuesday. But if you're going to against LSU this year, he looked like he belonged. I'll tell you that much. He did not look out of place in the SEC. And he's a smaller player, like 290, I think 6'2", 290. One of those like definitely like interior undersized pass rushing types, but I think in this class where there's not a lot of guys who are just frankly in the interior, it's kind of rough outside of even the top group is weird. The bottom of that group is also just weird in my opinion. So like in a class like that, I liked him a little bit more than Grayson Halton even out of Oklahoma. I think they're very similar, but I think Proctor played with a little bit more power to his game despite being a little smaller still. He's definitely a fun guy to watch for sure. But unless there's any other names that jump out to you guys on this page.
Who is Ephesians?
Oh, Ephesians Priceock?
Name of the draft. Right.
That is the name of the draft. I did not watch him either.
He's the other Washington corner.
He's also fun.
Yeah, but in my opinion, the better of the two of them, by the way, between Takaria.
Better than Takaria?
Yes. He is a much more nimble, agile athlete at 6'3", also, and like close to 200 pounds. Like he's just, I think, a better overall mover, more versatile because of that. Where I think Davis is kind of like, unless you're playing like cover 3 and just being like, hey, don't let the receiver get past your 6'4" frame. Other than that, like Davis is kind of iffy. I think Price Hawk has legit like potential to play multiple coverages and look good. I think he'd be the first corner I'd take after the end of the third round for sure. Like if I'm taking somebody. So yeah, if you haven't watched,
he tested pretty well too.
He did. If I'm not mistaken,
like almost a 40-inch vertical.
It was something along those lines. If I'm not mistaken,
I know he ran a 4.4.
It was a 4.4 something. He did. So he had a 9.74 RAS. 6'3 3/8, 196, 33-inch arms, 4 for 540, 39-inch vert, 10-4 broad.
Yeah.
So yeah, he
fun.
Tested really well.
Yeah, I don't know how he must have just missed my rewatch radar, which like I looked at a lot of different sites. Like I think I looked at 4 different sites and tried to get like the top 100 on those 4 sites.
Right.
Watch everyone in there. So maybe he's just everybody's like 110 or something.
He was
like
146 on the consensus.
Yeah.
Board, so yeah,
that makes sense. That's why I just missed him
for sure. Yeah. I have your boy Drew Shelton at 107.
Nice. That's around where he ended up for me.
It's funny. I have a lot of this happening where I noticed after the fact that like Katron Allen and Drew Shelton are right next to each other, 106 and 107.
Yeah.
I also would you have believed me if I went into this exercise and Drew Aller wasn't the lowest ranked Penn State player on my board?
Yeah, I'd believe that.
Okay, well, never mind. he was at 120. Nick Singleton at 130, and then Zane Durant I think just made it 148 too. So those guys are all down there.
Yeah, Zane Durant, that's a tough one. He's around there for me, and trying to see where he ended up for me.
Yeah,
111.
Okay, yeah.
So
also, Malachi Fields 103, firmly a day 3 sacrificial X in my opinion. That's my final take on Malachi Fields. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. You can make good money doing that. So, but yeah, I think consensus has eventually fallen back more in line with him because I do remember a time when he was like consensus wide receiver like 7 or something like that, and now he's at 78 on the consensus board, so it's a little bit more reasonable. But yeah, that was an interesting time. Yeah. The Senior Bowl does stuff to people, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but sometimes people are like, "Did you see that catch first round?" It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But also Garrett Nussmeier makes it into this section at 104. I don't know what to do with him, man. I think the problem with Nussmeier for me, because I feel like both of you probably have him higher than me by a little bit, if I had to guess. Well, actually, Dalton, you might not, because you hate him even more than
I hate him a lot. Yeah, I don't think he made my top 150.
Okay, forgot about that. Yeah,
I have him 69.
Right. Well, nice. Perfect. Perfect.
QB11. He is right behind Cole Payton, and
I can
made my board.
I can respect him being behind Cole Payton, but I do feel slandered though. I will say that. Nussmeier, the problem with him actually, why there's a couple guys ahead of him, for me in that like end of day 2 range of quarterbacks is where I have the other guys. Is with the other ones like Peyton, I just think there's upside potentially there at least, and something you could maybe get out of him. And then Cade Klubnik, I think, is just like a better backup quarterback than he would be, which is a weird thing to say. But when you're talking about a guy that's ranked in the 90s on your board, that's kind of starts to matter a little bit. Because I don't think Nussmeyer's a starting quarterback, but I think if he was your backup and he had to play, there's more likelihood he's going to just destroy the game because he's trying to be a starter. And so it's this weird.
Oh, for sure.
It's just this weird thing that he has going on that I couldn't decide what to do with. So I'm like, I'll just put him down here. You know, if he's better than the other guys, I don't care. It's fine. But yeah,
that man will be coaching by 30.
Hey, you know what? He'll probably be good. So.
Oh yeah, no, I think
that's exactly what his dad does.
It is what his dad. He's currently the OC for the. He's the OC for the Saints right now.
Oh yeah.
But which doesn't matter because Kellen Moore's the coach there. But you get the point.
Yeah.
I'm calling this right now. Bookmark this. Put it in your phone somewhere. In the year 2040, Garrett Nussmeier will be named the head coach of the Auburn Tigers.
All right, there we go. Boom.
That just feels right. I don't know why.
Lock it in, folks.
He's gonna be wearing a visor on the sideline,
as you do. Yeah. In Alabama. Yeah. I don't hate it. A couple guys I did want to shout before we move on to one of you next here in a minute. Guys that I know I'm like 99% sure much higher on the consensus. There's something about Josh Cuevas from Alabama, the tight end, that I like. Like, I just think everyone hates him at this point. I don't even know if it's because they actually hate him or just because nobody watched him, frankly, which is fine at this point because, like, the amount of tight ends that you could theoretically grade on day 3 is so ridiculous that it's almost like, like, am I supposed to be mad at someone if they didn't watch Josh Cuevas? Like, really? Not really. Because there's guys I didn't get a chance to watch. Like, Daquan Wright is someone I still didn't get to, Dalton.
Oh, man, I'm upset. Out.
I like to think that I would like him, but I didn't watch him enough to really actually grade him. But I know you're going to probably have him very high. The consensus board, by the way, I don't know if this guy, because again, I didn't watch him, so I don't know if I would even like strongly disagree with this. But unless he killed somebody, he's 247 on the consensus board right now.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
so. Did something happen to him? Like, did he do something stupid that we don't know about? As far as I know, because I don't know. That just strikes me as odd that he's that low with what you've said about him. Go ahead. Did you want to say something, Jake?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like when you get to the later part of the board, like it's so varied and like ranked. There were some guys I had on my like 140 to like 150 that I looked on like the database and they were like 300 something.
Right, and
I'm like it's
okay.
It gets all like rambled at that point.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna pull up one of your boards next. So who wants to kind of talk about their back end of their board next?
You can do mine.
Is mine good to go?
I hope so.
I just edited it.
Okay. If you just edited it, then I hope it's good. I mean, that sounds more of a question for you.
Like, should I share my screen or?
I have it up, and it should have live updates. So,
okay.
Yeah, I saw you messing with it. I can see you doing that.
Yeah,
so.
I had to add Nolan and unfortunately, because I guess I just missed him somehow.
Hey, tough guy to miss. 6'8". I don't know.
I know.
I'm not sure what that means for you.
But that also met Jeremiah Wright.
He was honorable mention for a second. Board.
Yeah.
So that's tough. Tough scenes for him. But no. Let me pull up Dalton's here next. He can talk us through his back end of the top. Oh no, I gotta pull down. I can't give away too much yet.
Let me preface this by saying,
okay,
this. We only watch so many guys.
Yes, there's going to be guys that might get drafted relatively highly that we might literally just not have gotten to for one reason or another. So don't assume we hate your favorite player if you come upon this and you're like, how could you not have X player in your top 150? You're like, I didn't watch him.
And because of that, there's guys that are in my top 150 that, like, had I actually gotten to watch everybody, might be closer to 200. It got weird towards the back end.
It always does.
It got really weird.
That's part of why we didn't do a top 150 board last year, is because I feel like none of us watched quite enough players to like feel good about like saying, oh yeah, this guy is a top 150 player in the class, because we're like, no, he's not probably. Like this year, but yeah. Anyway, good.
I think my bottom like 6 guys are a really good example of how it got weird.
Well, okay. Slow down.
I think we are. I'll let you get to it, Dalton.
Go ahead, Dalton.
Yeah, so this is where the quarterbacks are for me. So Kaliak Manish, Gronowski, and Cade Klubnik. And then, a guy that I've watched that I'm not sure if you guys have seen, that I watched way earlier and had to like go back and rewatch, and I dropped him down a bit, but I just still think he's a freak athlete and might be something there. Ethan Burke from Texas. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
I didn't get to him, and when I saw that name, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was like, who the fuck is that guy?
Really good pro day.
I mean, he went to Texas. I imagine he's probably pretty athletic. Usually, I would imagine. No, I did not get to watch him. So that was one name I saw. I'm like, oh, that's something I didn't know.
He is, I believe, 6'6".
What, like 260?
6'6", 267, and ran in the 4.8s with like a 6'9", 4 3-cone drill.
Nice 3-cone.
Yeah. Now, problem is, did 15 bench press reps.
Well, I mean, what's his arm length? Because if it's good, then it
it's his arms measured. Assuming
33 and a quarter. Yeah, 33 and a quarter. So it's not crazy long. So yeah, that the 15 bench reps is odd. Also, apparently, did he either not do the vertical or it was terrible, 29.5 inch vert.
Yeah,
interesting.
It was terrible.
So he has the explosiveness ones, like 11 percentile 40, 11 percentile vert, 15 fourth percent or fourth.
He's got weird bend
bench. Yeah, but his like agility scores though are really good.
Yeah, and like
interesting
on tape, like there's some potential there as a pure pass rusher.
Okay.
As a weird third down guy, it's weird. There's something there with him, and I don't know what it is exactly, but maybe I was just easier on my grades earlier on in the process. But I don't know. I like him. I had him just ahead of Kieran Crawford.
Which that one hurts me a little bit.
I know.
That one hurts my soul.
I know. I just can't get into Crawford. And part of it is I think I'm the highest out of the three of us on Keldrick Falk.
Yeah, we're like reversed on those.
Because where did you? We don't have to tell me now because we'll talk about it in a little bit. But where did you? What range did you have Falk in?
Oh, Falk, I believe, is in the top top 15 on my board.
Okay, because he was. I'll just tell you right now, just because we're talking about him. I'm pretty sure he was. Where's he at? He is 56 on my board.
Yeah, he's 15th on mine.
Yeah, mostly because this is again, maybe this is unfair, but if he would have came into the combine at 295 pounds and still tested pretty good and like done the testing at the combine, tested pretty well, and shown that he's like, I'm committing to the thing that makes the most sense at least in my opinion for what he should be, probably be in my top like 30 players, because he seems committed to playing like an actual edge position. I simply don't think he'll ever be more than a 2-down player.
If he gets a couple pass rush moves, he's going to be a Pro Bowler.
I just don't think he has the juice, despite testing pretty well. I don't think he has to get off to be an edge rusher, frankly. Like at least one that can I don't know. Just couldn't get there with him as an edge rusher, so he'll be a late second rounder for me as an edge rusher.
Fair. Some other guys to mention. Yeah, a lot of Texas guys around here. I don't know why that happened, but Michael Taffy is in here. I like him as a deep safety. He snuck in there towards the end. Another guy that I'm curious if you guys have watched him or what you think. Xavier Harris from Ole Miss.
So
I
he
know.
was one of the guys that I was gonna watch, and then I decided it probably wasn't worth it because he's seemingly not so good guy.
No, bad person.
It seems
Bad
that's
person.
the problem with him. So.
But the nice thing about it is it does carry over to the football field in some really fun ways for a defensive lineman. The man plays with bad intentions. And like, hey.
He plays like himself.
Yeah. Hey, the greatest defensive player ever is also a monster of a human being. Like, is also a horrible person that probably should be executed. But I mean, when you assault children,
yeah.
I
don't have a rebuttal to that. So
I actually had him pretty close to you. I had him 133.
Yeah, I chose not to watch him because I kind of assume, based on what I've heard of him, is that I probably won't have to care too much about what he does because he might not be around very long. So.
Yeah, but if he is, he's going to be a problem.
Maybe
on and off the field.
And unfortunately, the NFL doesn't really care about.
Oh, they don't. But no,
they don't.
I don't know. We'll see.
And then right above him, Harold Perkins Jr.
I chose not to rank him because I can't decide what he's gonna do, and when it came down to it, I'm like, I'd just rather not take a guess of where I'd rank him because I don't know where to rank him in anything. Like, I know you have him listed as a nickelback, right? Is that what it is?
He's a linebacker and a nickel. I don't know what, like, he's gonna do things.
He'll do something. There. I just couldn't tell you what it is, and because of that,
I don't know
I'm
either.
out.
Some creative defensive coordinator is gonna get a hold of him, and I mean,
he's just a defender.
Yeah,
like. Just in general,
my comp is Shaq Griffin, the one-handed Griffin brother. Right. That's my comp for him, but like a slightly better version of that.
Because 2 hands, or is it because?
I think also better, a little bit better of an athlete.
Right,
and I think just generally like has a little more upside. I mean,
okay,
yeah,
I don't know. Beats me.
I don't know. I think there might be something there. Like,
there definitely could be.
Early on in his career, like, it's just too good. And like, I think a lot of this year's tape was hurt by the fact that he was still recovering from.
Yeah, it just comes down to, like, the best thing he did in college is rush the passer, and like he's not going to do that at the end of it. Like, not at least like actually rush the pass. Like, maybe he's a blitzer, but like, are you drafting a guy who blitzes at one something? Like, I don't know. It's tough. But it's weird.
Man coverage still pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
like
weird.
He can still take away most tight ends, I think.
Yeah, I just didn't know what to do with him ultimately. There's a guy that like people will probably compare to him that I have very high that I don't think they're comparable at all, because like I saw this player do the stuff that I think he'll do in the NFL. But that's beside the point. Like, I don't really have a problem with anyone ranking him, like, especially this late, because I imagine he'll find something to do. I just decided that it probably wasn't worth my time to try to figure that out. So like, just figure it out in the NFL.
Only other guy I'll mention here is Cage Casey.
Another guy I wish I got to.
I just don't know what he's going to be. He's not a tackle. Watching his Senior Bowl reps, definitely not a tackle. And I just don't know if he has got the makeup for guard. So it's going to be a long transition for him, I think.
Gotcha. Let's move up here a little bit farther. Anybody that you want to call out here, and then also Jake and I can look at this for a second.
Oscar Delp being out of the top 100 this year is hilarious, because he probably would have been closer to the top 100 had he come out last year or the year before.
Guess what? He's going to be in my top 100.
Really?
And comfortably so.
Oscar Delp?
Yes. Because
I didn't like him.
So here's the thing. I went back and watched more of him after he tested the way he did, because I didn't watch a lot of him, because I just kind of was like, it's Oscar Delp. I've seen him play 400 games, it feels like. And at the end of the day, tight end production in the college game is so weird and hit or miss that I'm like, I'm just going to look at what he actually does on the field and not worry so much that Georgia is the way they are and just does shit weird. We're talking about a team that threw a receiver 44 fucking screens this year, like one receiver, not 44 screen passes, 44 screen passes to one individual receiver. I just kind of I watched him on the field. I'm like, that dude can play football. Like, he just can. Like, I'll talk about him later, but like, yeah, it also just came down to that where I'm like, he's good at everything he does. He just doesn't get the ball because I don't know. Like, George is weird. So I'm willing to bet on him with the traits and what he showed.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I hope so because like I hope he can do stuff in the passing game because he just can't block. That's kind of my.
I don't really firmly agree with that, frankly. Like, I think the ability to be able to block is within his capabilities. I think that he is a little bit smaller, obviously, and that hurts him. But his athleticism, his ability to get out on the move and block, especially, like, he's not going to be a wide tight end probably for you ever. But he can, in the same way that Kenyon Sadiq isn't a bad blocker, he's just not a wide tight end. Like, there's a difference between those two things at this point.
But Sadiq's a lot bigger and stronger than Delp.
I'm pretty sure they are almost identical sized, if I'm not mistaken.
All right,
from at least from my
strength is much different.
Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, like Sadiq is definitely he plays stronger. He may not be bigger, but he plays stronger.
Yeah, that might be right. Yeah,
you're 100%
not
right
look 6'5", 245 on tape.
He does, and his actual numbers. I think he came in he was 6'5", 245. I think Sadiq is 6'3", 251.
Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah.
6'3", 241 actually. So he's lighter, but a little bit shorter, so probably denser overall.
Yeah, much more.
Also, just a better like even with Delp being a really good athlete, like a really really good athlete, Sadiq's an even better one. So it's like you get that mass times acceleration, man. You can get more power going when you're bigger and faster. Also you had I want to say who was someone that stood out. VJ Payne made your top 150. He did not make mine. I still think he's probably best playing like boundary corner in a very specific way.
That's fun.
I just can't
value. I feel like
right. Like it was just weird. I don't know what to do with him because I think as a safety, he just straight up doesn't know what's going on too often. Where I'm like, where are your eyes going, bro? Like, what are you looking at? But then, like, I think the athleticism pops when he does know what he's doing and he attacks the football. So I'm like, hey, just stick him in boundary corner. Like, hey, that's your dude. Go figure it out. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. But until a team does that, I don't know.
I think he's going to be a guy that's just going to take away other teams like move tight ends.
And that's also fine too. Like, is this like as a specific role like that? Yeah, like I could get behind that because he doesn't have to think super hard then.
Yeah,
because that's his issues when he's trying to like actually read it out. He just doesn't seem to really see it. So
and then you can also use him as a blitzer when he's not doing that. Yes. Is kind of the nice thing. I think there's enough things that he can do. Yeah.
I like that you have Jaden Roberts here. I had him in this range too. Specifically, where did he land for me? You might actually have had him a little bit higher than me. Where did I miss him here? Where is I know I put him on here. A 119, and you have him 122? Yeah. So right around the same. He's one of those like mauling guards that I feel like plays for 8 years.
Yep. The floor is really high on him.
Yeah. He's just like, I destroy people and sometimes get beaten pass protection because I'm like 330 pounds. Like, get over it. Like, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. I liked him a good bit. Anyone standing out to you, Jake, in this range for him?
Not that we haven't gone through.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you guys watch Jalen Farmer?
Yes.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of him?
He is literally 99.
Okay.
He's 112 for me.
Yeah. So right on the same range.
Yeah. Fun watch.
Yeah. It's a little iffy sometimes though. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some stuff where I'm like, I'm into it, but also like it could end up not working out.
The nice thing is he's 22, so I feel
he's not one of these 25-year-olds that's like he's not getting better probably type of deals. He could get better for sure. Looking at other guys, I think there's someone that stood out as someone who I have higher maybe in here. Where was it? Oh, well, we know that I love Jadarian Price, so that's a huge difference there. I think I have him roughly like 15.
I irrationally don't like him. Like I'm probably like I'm okay if I'm wrong on him.
Right. You kind of have to be if you're going to be that far because I have him 41. So like he is firmly a second round running back to me. just kind of everything screams
Yeah.
like exactly what you get in a second round running back from an athletic standpoint. Nice that he doesn't have the tread on his tires while also showing, elite ability at times at Notre Dame. Like the kick return value is also crazy with him because I think he could be an awesome kick returner right away. So that's nice to have in the bag too. But yeah, I know that you're just not high on him. So.
Yeah. Oh, the other guy I think I have to defend here is Eric McAllister. Again, we don't get to interview these guys.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. Like you'd have to vet him heavily. But I'll tell you what, if the vetting process checks out, dude's good. He's really good.
A friend of mine, I don't know how he managed to start here, but he was like, "What do you think about Eric McAllister?" And I was like, I watched a little bit of him. I think there's ability there. I probably am just gonna let someone else draft him.
Fair.
That's what I basically told him. He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "You just Google." He's like, "Oh,
yeah,
shit. All right." I'm like, "Yeah, it happens."
The catching traffic ability though, and like,
oh yeah,
the movement after the catch.
There's something there.
There's some nuance to his game that's like kind of impressive. Doesn't release well, but fights his ass off for leverage anyways. It kind of just works.
Yeah, I get it. I do. Ooh, Malachi Lawrence at 101. Jake, did you end up getting to him? Because I did late.
Yeah, I had him at 140.
Okay. So it turns out I'm the one who's closer to consensus on Malachi Lawrence then, I guess, huh?
I heard before you had. I heard some. I forget if it was Daniel Jeremiah or one of the big like draft people. They went on Greenlight, like Chris Long's podcast.
Yeah,
and they said they could see him. Like they almost mocked him at 20 to the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's what's going like. And
I can't.
Yeah, he's been.
Jake, I know
Where do you
have
him, Shane?
51, I think it was.
Okay.
Let me see. 50. Yeah, 51.
That I can hate that less.
He's a DPR, but I think a potentially very, very good one. That's
if
what
he
I think.
Learns a move.
Well, see, this is the interesting thing.
Yeah,
people will tell you, and like I saw some of this. I think I saw him try stuff that I think he knows that he needs to do more pass rush moves, but I think he just hasn't gotten a lot of them down yet. I don't think it's like an inability to necessarily do them.
But he's 25. He's been playing college football forever.
That's the problem. But this person, I'm sure you might know Dalton, but Jake, I know you definitely do. John Ledyard, who does Bucks and stuff. Has him as his number one edge rusher in the class.
Yeah,
he does good work. He really does. Like I respect what he does. I'm certainly nowhere near that with him, but I think that he viewed him as someone that, again, like I think part of the problem with him versus some of the other guys down the board is that if he can actually put it together, which the problem is he's older, right? It'd be different if he was 21 or 22. But if he can put it together, the athletic profile and the get off is kind of nutty. Yeah, I just don't know if he can. Again, it just comes down to how likely do you think it is that he can put it together. I'm willing to think he can be good enough to be like the third edge for you, or maybe your second best like actual pass rusher, but not your second best edge rusher overall. That type of guy. Like you hope he's maybe something akin in terms of role to like Nick Herbig for the Steelers. Something like that is what you hope for with him.
Oh yeah.
But even that's probably asking a good bit compared to what he is right now.
I just can't, like, if you're 25 and I have questions about you, like, as an edge rusher against both the run and the pass, I just can't get like that.
Yeah.
No, I can't get that high.
For sure.
I just can't do it.
I get that. Yeah, I do.
Because like right now, the only way it's going to work for him is he's only going to get as far as he can overpower people at the next level, which I'm not convinced he's not going to be able to overpower most.
Yeah,
the speed to power is pretty.
Yeah,
that's part of the problem. Is sometimes,
terrifying.
Yeah, when you have a trump card like that, sometimes you just end up being good, if not great, and maybe that's what happens with him. But I do get the trepidation with it, right? Like I do, because there's just not a lot of things to hang your hat on with him outside of the couple things that we all can tell very quickly. But yeah, him having a edge one threw me for a loop because I'm like, man, that's tough.
Yeah.
that's really tough because obviously,
especially with some of the first round.
Yes, because like we all collectively love Ruben Bain, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to vary a little bit on the rest of the guys beyond that, especially like depending on how you feel about Reese as an edge rusher or whatever. But yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow for sure. But let's move to Jake's board here. Give him a chance to kind of talk about the back end of his class, and like we'll obviously kind of move it along here in a minute because we don't want to spend too long on each section here. But I do want to give Jake a chance to kind of see where he's at on the back end of the class before we kind of get moving.
I think we've talked about a decent amount of them.
Right, a lot of the guys that are important here, that we want to see. So let's go down to the bottom here for you. So something interesting, the couple guys at the very bottom here that I don't know if any of us had, specifically really this entire section here.
So there's a lot of guys that like I've done a lot of scouting reports for the Steelers site. So and there's a lot of guys that are like deep down on the board.
Right.
Like Daniel Sobkowitz for one. I'm assuming you guys probably have not heard of him.
Oh, I've heard of him now.
We know him because of you.
Yeah. So
now,
am I going to sit here and say that I watched him one time in one singular play? No, can't say that I did.
He's a guy that's hard to watch too because like there was nowhere I could find to like get all 22 on him. So it's pretty much just like I'm watching replays of games on YouTube.
Which,
but
not an ideal way to.
He is my definitely not an ideal way to do it. But he's probably my biggest draft crush, even though he's all the way down on this board. Like I think on mock draft database he's in like the 400s, which is fair.
I couldn't find him on it the other day. I don't even know if he's on there, to be honest with you.
He might not be. He might.
We were talking about this, Dalton, on the show. I looked for him forever, and unless I'm just missing his name, oh no, he's 455. I found him.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Which he's Trevor Penner right behind him.
If he sticks on an
Dalton, Trevor Penner, what do you have to say?
Oh God. Oh man. R.I.P.
Oh boy.
I'll tell you what, if Sobkowitz makes an NFL team, he will be a guy that you'll like see do something. Like he just does so many things well. I mean, he had 19 touchdowns last year. Great in contested catches. He's got super long arms, a good vertical, really good route. When he runs routes, I just think of Hunter Renfrow, like really, really good route runner.
Ooh.
Very nuanced routes. Like he doesn't run typical basic routes. He's very nuanced.
Is there a reason you said Hunter Renfrow, Jake? Is there a reason you threw out that name?
No.
What about? Do you think he's similar at all to like Adam Thielen by chance, or I actually, yeah, he's a really good route runner. Okay.
Really clutch player. He's just one of those FCS receivers that didn't play for like a North Dakota State or a South Dakota State or like one of the bigger schools.
Right.
So he doesn't really get noticed. Like he's good. He runs great routes, huge red zone threat, terrific production, clutch player, smart, athletic. Like there's no athletic limitations. I think people just don't know who he is, which I really can't blame them for not knowing who he is. But I super high on him. Lorenzo Styles made mine after I realized I had Kenyon Sadiq on there twice. So he was my last addition on my board.
We had a joke about that because it's like he likes him so much he has him.
Kenyon Sadiq was 8 and 12 on my board. I don't know how I did that.
Figure it out. Too bad. I have him on there 2 times. Fuck you.
I always have an appreciation for guys who are either new to the sport or new to their position. Mm-hmm. And somebody like with Styles, the instincts are not there, and his just IQ for that position is not there, but the traits are. And when you're so new to a position, I just have a lot more hope that you can develop in that spot. So he did crack my list. I'm assuming he probably didn't crack your guys's.
No, but we drafted.
He was in the top 100. We did. Yeah, he's a late round guy that I love. I don't think he'll obviously go as high as this in the draft, but
Red
Murdoch, another fun one. Really fun to watch.
Elite man.
Yeah, I like him so much. Like that's a guy that he didn't make my board just because I didn't really watch actual tape of him. I only watched highlights. But
That's fair.
I did mock him. I did a 7-round Raiders mock, and I did mock him to the Raiders in the 7th round. And I literally wrote
a better Raider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the little like blurb I wrote about him, I said like just go look up Red Murdoch highlights. I know that's bad practice, but go look up Red Murdoch highlights and tell me you're not excited about that guy.
See, Red Murdoch struck me as someone. I watched him a little bit. He struck me as the kind of guy who would be drafted in the top 75 in 2009.
Absolutely.
Which is nothing wrong with that,
Although,
but it means you're not getting drafted in probably till the 6th.
But maybe not in 2026.
Yeah, although I would argue in 2009 he might actually be less likely to get picked because he would have been. I feel like for like the mid 2000s, he'd have been really small for a linebacker.
That's true, but he plays like a guy who would have been drafted high in 2009. Is what maybe I should say.
True.
He plays with the mentality of someone who would have been better 17 years ago, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that, but it is, I think, true in his case. I think a couple other guys, like so, a lot of these guys we don't have on our list at all. I don't think. Charles Demings is someone I'm going to go back and watch. Also, not from TCU. No offense, Jake, but
I was like,
maybe.
My bad.
I mean, I don't blame you for assuming. Yeah, Stephen F. Austin.
Wrong purple team.
That's the problem. Is like I don't blame you for. Right. That's the problem. Is I don't blame you for that because why wouldn't he be at TCU?
Yeah.
He probably should have been at TCU. To be honest with you,
they could have used him.
Yeah, sure. I like someone that I'm glad that you have on your list is Jalen Daniels because I also had him on mine. I can't quit him.
I have a soft spot for him.
Can't quit him, bro. I watched this man put up too many NFL throws over the course of the 12 years he played at Kansas to give up on him. And I know I just joked about the fact he's like 6 years at Kansas, but I'm not even sure if he's like that much older than some of the other quarterback prospects or even the oldest quarterback prospect. I don't think he necessarily
is in this class.
So like, but he's played a lot of football and a lot of good football at a school that it's hard to play a lot of good football at. So I'm not willing to give up on him. Is he going to be drafted? I don't know.
I want him to.
Him. Yeah, he'll be 24 in October, so it's not
that's
that
fine.
Old.
That's not
quarterback.
Hey, he might as well be 20 at this point.
Yeah,
quarterbacks. Why not? Tyler Shuck is 34 right now. Bo Nix is 42. We don't even know. No, I'm just messing with him.
One guy I do like. I'm assuming you guys probably didn't watch him, but Bryson Eason.
No, I did not get to him, but yeah.
He's another guy. I think he's in the 200s on the database, but he's another guy who is also new to his position. He used to play linebacker, and then he went to an edge rusher and then a defensive tackle at Tennessee. They kind of just moved him everywhere, but really, really good against the run. Like really, really good against the run. He has like the linebacker brain playing on the line of scrimmage against the run.
Nice.
He's pretty athletic for the position. He's a little smaller for it. The only thing is 4 sacks in his college career. So that's why he's not.
To be fair, Tennessee plays their defensive tackles like 8 snaps a game. So
when you watch his all 22, it's not very long because he just is constantly getting rotated. But the pass rushing is not there, but I think he's really, really good against the run. And he just cracked the list for me. But he's a guy that I am a lot higher on than most.
Side note about that name. That sounds like the name of everyone at the Elite 11 quarterback camp.
That's true. Jacob Eason, shout out.
Bryson Eason just sounds like a quarterback prospect. But Jacob Eason.
Yeah, Jacob Eason, shout
Easton
out.
Stick.
All right, now we're getting a little off the rails.
Right? That's the name of a quarterback, right?
Chargers,
Easton Stick played the funniest game ever in that.
Also, North Dakota State quarterback, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure is where he played.
Yeah.
So there,
Yeah.
Cole Payton, maybe.
You have Cole Payton? I'm assuming I'm lower on him than you, Shane.
Yes,
Or-
not by that much because he's QB3 for me, but like kind of by default. So like,
Yeah,
he was not 89 for me, and even then I'm like, I don't know.
yeah. He's kind of like people talk about Ty Simpson only having 1 year of
Yeah.
experience, and so did Cole Payton, but it was at the FCS level.
Yeah, I just think that
And-
ultimately Peyton's more physically talented by like a way,
for sure.
way
For sure.
more. Even though he's probably not as good of a quarterback ever as Ty Simpson will be, but like I don't care. It's fun.
Yeah,
He's.
I
Fun.
just had a few too many questions with him, but yeah, I'm not.
It's fine.
Okay, I thought you were higher on him, so
No, I am like than like in general, but like it's still like
Yeah.
he's my third quarterback, but we're talking about a guy that should be taken at the end of day 2 at the earliest for me. So like
Yeah.
that tells you where we're at with the quarterback class. I wanted to talk. So you guys, I've learned, and I knew this because I remember the running back show, but you guys fucking hate Emmett Johnson, and it makes me sad.
Hey, he's on my list.
I don't hate him.
Yeah,
You compared to me, you hate him.
he's 149 for me.
I just, I don't know. I like the pass protection isn't great. His
No, he's going
not
after passes.
crazy top end
Don't worry.
speed. Oh yeah,
Don't worry, he's the one catching the pass. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
and he
Oh,
just jump cuts so often, like so.
Yeah,
so often.
he's good.
Too often.
I don't know.
I get it. I see the upside. I see the upside. For
he's
sure.
he's the type of running back that I
he
just
has
like.
good
Is like,
vision.
yeah, I don't care about I don't really care about long speed with running backs unless I'm taking them like in the first round, because so often it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, how often are running backs running for 50 yards anymore? It just doesn't really, like, you know what I mean? And if you have ways to force missed tackles, which he definitely does with his agility and his ability to get in and out of holes, like and I'm not saying I have him like top 50 or anything crazy like that. I have him 78 or 79, sorry. Like, he is RB3 for me. So like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, he's RB8 for me. My comp for him is very similar to how I felt about Ollie Gordon last year.
Oh god, I can't wait to get destroyed right now. Go ahead, Dalton.
my thinking, I think there is bell cow potential, but like it's only in a pure power scheme. And the problem is, if he ends up not being that, what else is he gonna be? Like at the end of the day, if he's not like the lead back in a power scheme, he's Zamir White.
Oh,
Well, the problem with Zamir White was that he was a great athlete, but couldn't actually see where he was going ever. Like, he tested really well and he could run fast. He just didn't run the right direction ever.
I mean, that vision is one of my biggest concerns about Emmett Johnson.
I didn't see vision as a problem.
I thought his
all.
vision was okay. I wasn't.
That wasn't really a big issue for me.
Oh.
To me, so
I don't know. There were just times where I felt like he just.
It might be because he does just move in and out of holes a lot.
Yeah, he didn't. I think he just maybe it's not vision, it's patience.
Indecisive. Like he is. Yeah, he does some.
I'm not super well. I mean, he was your running back 3, Shane.
Yeah, but 79.
Yeah, he was,
so it's still
was running back 5 for me. So it's not like
I was talking about the difference in where they rank on the board. Like, I was being a little facetious, frankly, because I remember Dalton like barely had him in his top 150. Like, God damn it, I'm upset now. No, I don't care. Actually, it doesn't matter. But no, like that. Yeah, he's a guy that Isaiah World I chose to leave off my list because I would have had him somewhere in the top 150. But the fact he didn't have the best tape as last year, and also his leg exploded. Don't love that combination of things.
That's true.
That sucks. Like nothing against him, just not ideal. You know. So that's an interesting name here. Cade Klubnik. I'm gonna end up being the only one of us with him inside my top 100, and it's only because again I think he's like the most like safe backup ish kind of guy. Basically,
is he QB3 for you?
He's QB4 and 95th, and he's right behind Peyton at 89. So like they're so different from each other. Yeah, they're like they're polar opposites of each other. Yeah, Ty Simpson. Yeah, is safe, so he does sort of.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I also noticed you guys don't like Sam Roush at all. It makes me a little sad because he's like one of the only ethical tight ends in this class.
I like him. I just don't. You're
actually consensus with him. I'm a little higher on him than consensus. That's all. Not anything crazy. I don't think he was.
It's 127 for me.
Where did I have Sam Roush? I forget where I landed on him. He is 66.
Ooh.
So, yeah. But also like part of that's like he's like an actual tight end.
But like tight ends after Sadiq, you could literally talk me into like anybody after that.
And that's totally fair. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and complain too much. Like I think I still have Stowers and Clara. Yeah, I still had Stowers and Clara ahead of both of them.
Yeah,
Ahead of Roush, but
we'll talk about Stowers because I did not like him that much.
Yeah, he's weird. That's kind of the best way to describe it.
He's tight end 4 for me. So like,
yes, yeah. So Jake, you
I did get around to Markel Bell, yeah.
Yeah, so like he might as well have shot me right here on the show with where he ranked him. But it's fine. I'm willing to be Dalton has him a little bit higher than this. I'm willing to carry the torch for the big boy out of Miami. I'm the other big boy, I guess. I have my reasons. We'll get there.
Yeah, I don't think I don't not like him as a prospect. I just don't know like how high his ceiling is.
Oh, that's fair, but my argument's kind of the other part of that, so we'll get there.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to say though. Yeah, let's anything else standing out? Let me look here. I think Dalton and I are actually going to be closer on Logan Jones at the end of the day because I watched more of him than I thought we were going to be. We'll get there in our next section here, but you have him at 108. It looks like, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like him. I mean, I do get like some of the concerns about whether or not he can do anything other than play center.
There's a lot of guys that are center only though in this class. So
yeah, but he might be center. But even if he's just center, like, also that's something I took away from this class. Real quick side note.
Yeah,
great interior offensive line class. The problem is most of the best guys are just centers.
Yeah, like once you get past the like clearly good ones,
it's
like
just
centers.
A lot of really good centers.
Yeah, it's like 9 centers or guys who probably should play center at least.
But like the problem is when do you take those guys?
I guess it depends on how many teams decide they need a center, which might be a good amount this year. Actually,
maybe.
Yeah,
Ravens need a center. Maybe they'll take one of them at some point. Yeah. Oh, you have DeJohn Stribling at 6?
Yeah.
Where did you have him, Dalton? Is he in your next section?
No, he was right around there for me. He is in my next one. Yeah, he's 93. So he was right behind Branch.
Okay.
I feel like you were someone who liked him a good bit. Maybe
I did.
Yeah, because we'll get there.
Crazy hype though, like that. I just can't get into.
Yeah,
we'll get there. We'll get there with him. Yeah, Jake. Unless there's any other guys you want to throw out here before we move on, we can start kind of moving things along here a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we pretty much talked about everybody.
Cool. That is super interesting here. All right, I'll throw myself back up on the board here so we can check out my next section here. Let me pull that one up. So I'm going to shout out a couple guys that I want to talk about here just so we can, again, move it along a little bit. I got to Caleb Tiernan, and I think that I don't know what position he's going to play, but I think he'll play something in the NFL and be pretty okay at it. It's kind of my take. I didn't check to see where you guys had him, but I know that he's a guy that people like a good bit still. Just not really sure yet. Like the build is so weird. Yeah. It's like the guard thing makes sense with the shorter arms, but also he's just built in a way that I don't love for guards, so it's kind of tough.
I had him 68.
Yeah, 68. Okay,
77 for me.
Right, so you guys are higher on him, but like I get why, because he's a really good player, but it's just like where does he play ultimately?
Yeah. I worry part of mine was helmet scouting. That like I'm like,
that's fair.
Yeah, I remember
every player from that program does this. All of them or something like this,
and it works usually.
It does seem to work. I do think Tiernan's ironically a couple tiers below the other guys.
I agree.
So that's the issue. That's like, so I'm like, oh, does it still work if they're not like a first round pick? I don't know. Maybe we'll have to find out. Maybe it just doesn't matter. I know that I'm assuming at least when it comes to Dalton, uh, having Keontae Scott at 94 is probably not going to make him feel very good.
Yeah, I had him 51.
Keontae Scott for me was 44.
Yeah, so I really respect his game a ton. I just don't know at the end of the day if his coverage is going to hold up well enough at the NFL level to be like an impactful nickel every down, right? That's kind of this thing that worries me a little bit with him. Now, if he can be good enough in coverage and maintain the kind of fire breathing nickel play style that he has or had at college, then I think he'll probably be able to live up to where he'll be drafted. But with him being 25 also, it's a little just all the things
Yeah, that's
combined
fair.
just makes it hard to kind of like I'm just a little worried he might be Mike Hilton plus, which is a really good player, but maybe not a super impactful one down to down all the time. So that's kind of where I landed with him. Did you guys get to Keyshawn Elliott, the Arizona State linebacker?
Yeah, did not like him.
I did not.
No,
I didn't get a
you
chance
didn't
to
get
watch
him. Don't you didn't like him? Oh no.
So he was like I don't think he ended up in my linebacker rankings. Like he was,
Yeah, I don't
he
think
was
any of us
beyond
watched
12.
him. Yeah.
So I had a 7th round grade on him. He plays
Oof.
bigger than his size and looks like an NFL linebacker. Problem is, he's 6'2", 231, slow, and a liability in coverage, and has a high missed tackle rate. That's not really a recipe for being able to do anything. And then, I'm sorry, I'm really shitting on this guy that you have in the top 100. I'm sorry.
It's no, so
I just forgot that's what I wrote about him, and then I was reading it. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
It's kind of me.
It is what it is. He tested pretty well at his pro day. I think he looks. I don't think he's a great athlete on film by any means, but I think he moves well enough, and I think he has good instincts as a player. I think part of the problem with I think Jacob Rodriguez has some of the same issue where like I don't think him or Elliott are bad tacklers. I think they get in positions to tackle people that most guys never get the chance to tackle at all.
Fair.
And it just kind of sometimes it inflates the tackle numbers. It's a weird thing to kind of articulate, but I do think that's true, especially of Rodriguez, but also to some degree with Elliott. And also I think in coverage, I don't think he's a particularly explosive player, but I do think he's a smart player and gets into passing windows pretty often and knows what he's doing in zone. And I think if you're able to do that as a player that has a limited athletic ceiling, you can at least be on the field on third downs because of that. And I also think he's a good blitzer. So like I think all those things combined, I would not hesitate to take him sometime late on day 2 to be kind of like your second linebacker, ideally, and especially if you have someone more athletically gifted next to him that can kind of handle some of that type of stuff. But I could see a team liking him a lot in that role, especially. So, I had
to
also
go back and look because I definitely did my write up pre-combine.
He was at his pro days where he tested. I think, and he did. Let me actually. I just had it up. His testing. He had a 8.74 RAS, so not like out of this world, but good. 38-inch vert, 10.5-inch broad, 4.58 40, 7.02 3 cone. Like definitely tested well. It was 6'2", 231. So he's still a little lighter, but not that much lighter than a lot of the backers in this class, frankly. So, 21 bench reps, so that's about average. Like I think overall, like he's a average athlete if you actually look at it overall on film. I don't think he tested I think he tested better than his film would suggest, but it wasn't an egregious difference to me. So, so he's definitely somebody. Where did you guys land on Chris Brazzell?
He's pretty high up for me. You can go, Jake.
Oh, he's just 42 for me.
Yeah, he is 33 for me. He's wide receiver 7.
Yeah, he's 83 for me. I'm just terrified of Tennessee receivers, frankly. And I know he played at Tulane before this and was a good player. But he also, I found out, and this is something that like I don't really ultimately know whether I should really factor it in that much because it's a weird stat. But he lined up on the right side of the formation, I think 99.9% of the time, roughly. And that
Yeah.
when guys do that, the hit rate on those guys is almost zero, essentially, from what I understand from like Matt Harmon's reception perception charting. He does a lot of that stuff, and he's found that guys who play like that and align like that almost never work. And I don't know exactly why that is, so I'm not gonna pretend like I can articulate that.
Yeah,
But it is interesting to consider that a little bit.
I feel like that might be part
Yeah.
of Tennessee's offense. Like
It definitely is part of that
They're
for sure.
no huddle, right? They're pretty like go.
That and also they're just very particular about how they align guys and with the roles they play in. So that's the Tennessee is part of it, but also that offense, frankly, hasn't produced an NFL receiver like that's actually playable. And I understand like he's a transfer. He came in from Tulane. If you look at the Tulane tape, like he does some of the same stuff. And he's a good player. I'm basically with those guys, and I know there's some other people who evaluate players who are at the same point. If you play in like that offense, someone else can draft you, and I hope you work out. That's kind of where I'm at with him at this point. Like, if you can find a way to make this player work when he's played in this system and produced in the system, awesome. I'm probably gonna let him fall to day 2 before I touch him and late on day 2. And if he makes it there, awesome.
Yeah, I feel like he does enough things well, though. Like he's obviously really athletic, but like I thought his route
big,
running
tall, athletic,
well.
yeah, all that
Like
stuff.
he makes good tough catches. He knows how to like attack defenders' leverage and stuff. So I get the concerns, but I think there's enough there to feel a little confident that he can make it work.
He's probably, from what I've seen, got the best chance from a physical profile, especially to do it. I just can't get past the fact that like it's just literally never worked, and I hope that it does. Like if he makes this look dumb in a year or two, awesome, because that means it actually worked, and we can maybe start to consider that those guys can actually play in the NFL at some point. We just haven't seen it, and I like Cedric Tillman especially. He's played okay when he's been on the field, but he can't stay healthy. So maybe that's not fair to say that he wouldn't have worked out if he was healthy. He also plays for the Browns, which that sucks. That sucks. Yeah. But in general, just we haven't seen it work, and until it does, I'm probably gonna let someone else keep trying until they find a way to make it work. Kind of. Someone I definitely need to shout out here real quick before we talk.
I was about to say it.
Have you guys watched Carver Willis?
No,
I bet you have.
I didn't watch him.
Okay, well, I would say that you should, but I'm not going to ask you to watch any more players than you already have at this point. He was the left tackle at Washington this past year. Dealt with some injuries, very much slower on the consensus board. I believe last I checked that he is 182. So not like buried, but definitely down there. He's a little bit of an undersized tackle, especially when it comes to like being underweight. I'm pretty sure, and I wanted to pull up his measurements real quick before I get into him further, since you guys haven't watched him. So he is 6'5", 303. So lighter tackle for sure. Not a ton of arm length, 32 and a half. So like closer to the cutoff for a lot of teams, and below that, frankly, in some ways. Closer to 33 at his pro day, which makes me think that, again, big combine just hates everyone. But closer to 33-inch arms there. The testing was just okay, if not a little bit below average in some areas. 5.98 RAS. Really, the vertical was the only thing that was notably bad. The 40 was good at 5.11. The broad was good at 9 foot broad. Test again. I think he's just a fine athlete, but even if he can't stick a tackle, which I think he can, he just has a nastiness to him in the run game, especially, that I can't ignore when I watched him. Like, it was kind of, for a player that's underpowered because of his size, he makes it everyone else's problem that he doesn't have a ton of weight to throw around by just giving it 150% every single snap in the run game, especially. And you could tell that guys just get tired of being blocked by him, frankly. Like you could watch the end of I watched the Illinois game and nobody on that defense wanted to get blocked by him by the end. You could tell that they were like, especially linebackers filling in from like the back end trying to fill the run. When he would be in front of them, you could tell they were just tired of him running into him full speed. And they were kind of just trying their best to not be in his way whatsoever if they could avoid it. And in pass protection, he has really good feet. And I think he understands he's not the longest tackle, so kind of takes the issue to them and gets in the guy's chest before they can get into his. Very just refined player across the board. I think if he was healthy the whole year at Washington, because that's a program that's put out a ton of offensive line talent over the past couple of years, especially a tackle, Roger Rosengarten, Troy Fatanu, guys like that. I think if he was healthy all year and didn't have a couple bad games that were mostly because he was playing hurt, frankly, we'd be talking about him as a top 100 player. I had him slotted at 80. I think he's a guy that at worst is going to be a really good swing tackle for you, or maybe might be able to, with his tenacity, might be able to play guard, even though he's a little bit smaller.
I'm on board with it. Oh, I might have to take a look.
I'm about to watch him.
Yeah, if you're going to watch a game, watch the Illinois game. That's the one I would watch, because I think that you'll kind of get the full picture with him for sure. Gets Gabe Akis a couple times, I'm pretty sure. Definitely looked the part against him. So that's definitely one to watch. So I wanted to make sure I talk about him. Again, we talked about Delp. I need someone in this class outside of a couple guys that I have hired to like be a good tight end outside of day 3. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for with him, because I think the tape does show that he is a great athlete. This one makes me sad. Chris Bell at 75. I just don't know, man. The problem with him is everyone who looks and plays like him is either not an NFL player or they have to be DK Metcalf, basically. And how am I going to ask someone to be DK Metcalf?
I was going to say Michael Thomas.
Well, Michael Thomas, I don't think he was near the athlete Chris Bell was in the open field and as a run, like actually being able to run away from people. He just doesn't do a lot of stuff on the field. He's not asked to do a lot of stuff. And again, I think that could be okay. But unless you are DK Metcalf, I don't know if I can take you in the top 60. And the injury on top of it just ends up at 75. I think that's fine. I think he'll go at the end of the second round, probably, if I had to guess. Maybe he'll go higher if teams are good with his knee. But I just don't know. I didn't know what to do with him kind of at the end of the day when I watched a little bit more of him.
Yeah, he was 62 for me.
Right, so not a huge discrepancy here.
Yeah, it's hard to get any higher on a guy whose route tree is slant.
Yeah, slant, catch the ball, run away from everybody. That's awesome. But you're at Louisville. Let's see if you do it at the next level.
Because let's be honest, the competition he played in the ACC is basically he was basically playing at a Group of 5 school.
Which, there you go. Kieran Crawford, 74. I like him, man. I do.
I get it. I don't, but I get it.
Yeah. Jake, I know.
I'm higher on him.
I know you like him even more. Yeah. Don't you have him like where's he at?
Decently into my
45.
Yeah.
Yeah, edge 7.
With him, it's just like when you watch him, you have to consider that he's only played 5 years of football, and 4 were in college. Like,
yeah,
I think I just really like guys who are new to the sport. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it gives a certain upside that you like. Yeah. A couple other guys. Skylar Bell ends up ahead of Chris Bell. I wouldn't have guessed that in this process, but I like Skylar Bell a lot. Mostly because I know exactly what he's probably going to be. He's going to be a really good third receiver who knows what he's doing. He's a little bit older, obviously, playing a ton. Has all the requisite athletic ability to be a really good slot player, especially, but I think he can hang around on the outside of the Z. Kind of know what you're getting with him. Chandler Rivers is someone that I didn't think I was going to like a ton, but I think specifically as like a cover slot, I really can get with it. I don't know how much he can play, if ever, on the outside, but he'll certainly give you everything he's got on the outside. He did it at Duke.
Yeah.
But I do think his best role is on the inside. Jennings Dunker at 68. How do we feel?
I'm a little.
I mean, I have him 57, so I'm kind of in the same range.
Yeah, for me, he is He is 39 for me.
Yeah, I thought Dalton was the one who really liked him a ton. I don't know, man. I just think he's pretty stiff at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And like not in like a like, oh, he's a little stiff because he's a guard is what it is, but like kind of like borderline too stiff to be more than a third round player, and that's kind of why I have him closer to the third round at 68. I just don't know. It's tough. It's hard too because he was a tackle at Iowa, and like the guard
Yeah.
production makes sense. And I just how much like I wonder if the pass protection, even inside, will sometimes be kind of embarrassing, frankly. But only sometimes. Like I don't think he's going to be getting beat out there every play by any means because he's very strong and can handle guys that are bigger inside. But his lateral quickness is just it's iffy.
Yeah, I just think it won't be as much of an issue moving inside.
Oh, it won't be. Yeah, that's what helps him so much. Is he would be like if he was a tackle, he's like, oh, I'm playing tackle, not top 100, but 68 with guard, I can definitely get with that.
And
I think
in the run game, I just think he's just
like
God,
that's the thing. Hopefully,
God, I want the Raiders to draft him so bad, just because
he is a Raider though.
An interior O line of Linderbaum, and JPJ and Dunker in the interior 3 is just disgusting.
Oh, it's people were gonna not want to play against them. That's for sure.
No,
not a chance. Did you guys get to Sam Hecht? He ended up when I watched him center 1.
Fair. He wasn't that far off for me. I think he was center 4 for me. He's 74.
Okay.
Overall on my board.
I think you're a little higher on the meat of the center class. I think you're a little higher on than me.
Yeah,
which is fine. I get that.
Yeah, and part of it is like center 6 for me is Brian Parker, but I have Parker higher because he's got more positional flexibility.
Gotcha. Yeah, Parker was where did I end up on him? I forget.
I saw him. He was.
I think you passed him.
Yeah.
Is he up farther?
Yeah.
102. Yeah, I have him as like again a utility offensive lineman. I didn't know how much higher to rank him, frankly, because it's kind of weird with him. I don't know. I can't decide. I can't decide what position he is yet.
Because I mean, he's a 6'5" center or 300-pound offensive lineman. What do you do with that?
Something. He'll play something. Connor Lew at 77 at center 2.
Yeah.
Some other names. Jalen Kilgore ended up at 65 for me, specifically as a slot defender. If you draft him to be a slot, I think that's where I would take him at the very back end of the second, early third. Which I wasn't sure about that when I started this exercise. I was like, no, I think so. This is the thing. So I think I'm part of that group, unfortunately, Dalton, that you were talking about in your mind. Because if you look here, John Stribling is 59. I think again, if you are in a vertical offense, if you are in an offense trying to push the ball down the field consistently, and you don't have someone who can do that, I think he's worth a late second round pick. Now, could I understand a team not valuing him as much because they aren't necessarily trying to do that a ton in modern NFL, where it's hard to push the ball down the field consistently from the outside? Yeah. But he's the kind of like X receiver that I really can get into, because to me he's that like gap between like the true like number 1 X receiver and the sacrificial X receiver. He's that middle tier of those guys. Like he's actually like able to play X and like do more than sacrificial stuff, but isn't a number 1 receiver though either. Right. Just kind of a weird like middle ground between those two things. That's kind of where I had him. And there was a minute and I didn't do it. Ultimately, and because I kind of remembered you liking him a good bit, Dalton. So I was going to be like, "Hey, good news! I have Deshaun Stribling really high, but also I had him above Elijah Surratt. I thought that was going to happen for a minute. I didn't do that, so I didn't kill you entirely. So I will say that I did not take your heart out there. Surratt is actually at 50 exactly. So even if we did the 50 boards, he would have been on it. So there you go.
Yeah. I'm curious. I saw you have R. Mason Thomas a little ahead of Jayshawn Barham.
Yeah.
They're right. They were right around the same range for me, but I had Barham just ahead of Thomas.
That's fun.
What do you think? What do you think Thomas is gonna do? I'm just curious. What do you guys like? How do you guys use Thomas at the next level?
What do you think he's gonna
I actually had him over Barham as well.
Yeah.
Just the way you said it was funny.
No, I'm just because. Well, I mean, I know we all kind of like liked Barham late.
Yeah.
But Thomas, I know we kind of like we haven't talked about in a while.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Like as far as like what his projection is, because it's just weird, right?
I think he's a DPR and a really good one, and you take him in the second round or early third because you need that guy, and you're just like, hey man, when it's 3rd and 6 and worse, you're on the field, and when it's not, we'll figure it out. We'll get you on there sometimes. I think you could throw him out there on 1st and 2nd down in certain situations, but I think really you're drafting him because you're like, I need somebody who I'm confident can get to the quarterback in a quick manner, and I don't want to have to draft him in the 1st round.
Yeah, I think, I mean, like, at the very least, I think he's a good, like, 3rd down rusher, you know?
Yeah.
Like, kind of like Shane said.
Like, if you don't want to take Cassius Howell in the top 40, take R. Mason Thomas in the 60s.
Yeah. Fair.
You know, it's kind of the same. I think, like, the idea there is, like, I think he's not as good at rushing the passer as Howell is, but I think it gives you kind of the same idea in general. I like Howell a good bit, but like you get the point. Like that idea of like I don't want to take that guy super high. It's like, all right, take this guy instead. And Barham is interesting because like if you have him above him, Dalton, like you said, I get it because he's more untapped potential at edge. Where I think the linebacker skills could help him as a run defender and did. And there's a chance for him to be a better player in the pros than Thomas is, but he's just a little bit still projection for me. So I ended up having him a little bit lower. And just for the sake of time, I'm just going to run through kind of my stuff and then we'll get through your boards and we'll do the mock. A couple guys to name here that because a lot of these guys we've spent plenty of time talking about. Kyle Lewis, 53. That might surprise all of you potentially. I'm not sure where you guys have him. I didn't look.
He was in the hundreds for me. He was 110 for me.
Okay, Jake.
He was 74.
Okay, so here's my spiel on Kyle Lewis. I'm going to make it relatively simple. You'll see there's a question mark next to his position. It's because he's a linebacker, but actually not. I think he legitimately should be basically played in a very similar way to Derwin James / Nicky Manwari / whoever big safety nickel defender you can think of, because I legitimately think he's one of the most fluid cover like linebackers, if you want to call him that, or in this case, he's really more of a safety that I've seen in a good while, watching more of him at Pitt. His instincts in zone in particular and understanding like how to attack like curl flats in particular, how to split the difference between zones and like make quarterbacks second guess themselves throwing into windows, his agility to get to and from different parts of the field quickly and efficiently. It's so clear that he just needs to be in an overhang / slot role at the NFL level. And you can get him on the field in that way and allow him to play in the run defense stuff because he's playing from that position and not a true linebacker spot. It's a lot of the same things that I liked about, for example, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah for the Browns. Very similar athlete, and I think similar style of player where you don't want them in the muck as a linebacker. But if you can find ways to get them into space as a run defender, especially like from that slot position, or just however else you can get them out of that kind of obviously real true middle of the field, they can survive in run defense, and then it allows you to use them as cover defenders then, which is where they really shine. I really think the right defense gets a hold of him. This guy can make a ton of plays in the football at the next level. So that's kind of where I ultimately land with him.
Fair. Yeah.
But that's very specific role. Yeah. Right.
That's fair.
So we'll see if a team actually can do that. Avion Terrell, 52 for me. I know that's not very popular in draft circles, even after the testing thing, which that's not even why. I don't think any of us that have him a little bit lower than consensus. I don't think that's why we even really did that. I think it's just because I just wasn't as impressed with his tape.
He was 45 for me, so not far off.
You're right in the same range. Like, I wasn't sure if he'd make my top 50. Didn't quite get there. Elijah Surratt, I do like him, not as much as Dalton does, but I do like him. Ty Simpson at 48. I thought for a minute I was not going to have this man in my top 50, but he creeps in.
Yeah, I put him at 39, but like reluctantly.
Yeah.
Like I didn't.
Yeah, he was 41 for me.
He's just I feel kind of bad for him in the sense that like I think he's clearly not a first round quarterback, right?
Yeah,
correct.
And when you're not clearly a first round quarterback, it's kind of one of those things where, like I almost don't know if anyone is going to ultimately care that much about you unless they are one of the people who thinks you are a first round quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're a team that needs a quarterback but doesn't think Ty Simpson is a first round caliber player, why bother even taking him in the second? Because he's probably not going to be a starter for you. At least you don't think so. Or else, if you thought he would be, you take him in the first round.
He's going in the first round.
I think so too. But also, the more I hear about it, like maybe he just won't. Maybe teams are just learning that like we don't want to take the 6'1", 205-pound quarterback that has 1 year starting and is hurt.
My hot take is that there's going to be 3 quarterbacks picked in the first round because so many teams are going to want to move out of the first that someone's going to move back in for Ty Simpson. And then I think someone's going to move back into like 32 for Carson Beck.
If Carson Beck is a first round pick during our show, like I think
I'm going to laugh so
yeah, I think we might break records for like the sound barrier might explode from me screaming into my microphone.
After reading that Tom Pelissero piece today, I really think like
I'm choosing to believe that it's just pure smoke. I'm choosing to believe
I could see him going in
that.
like that. I could see him maybe going in like that Tyler Shook range. Like I think he went 40.
Yeah,
like
that's
maybe
still so high.
That. I still think it's too high.
That's just so high, dude.
I'm gonna laugh at whatever team takes him in the first round. But I honestly like. I've heard like I don't know. I could see it happening.
Yeah,
but
because like I think someone's gonna trade with Seattle to get ahead of the Jets and Cardinals to get 32, and just it might be Beck, it might be Drew Aller. Who knows?
Oh my God! I don't know which one.
For
me, it's
Beck. But if you're a GM and you're like, I have to trade to 32, so Carson Beck doesn't get stolen from me, like
pack up.
Speaking of first round, Shane, have you seen the Chase Besantis at 21 overall smoke recently?
Well, he's at 44 on my board, so I would not love that.
I've seen a few things about. I think it was he's either Jeremiah or Dane Brewer. I forgot which one, but one of them said like it's a real possibility that he goes 21.
Whichever one of them said that is dead to me. So,
I mean, if you feel like if you're convinced he's guard 2, I can see it.
But I just don't see the.
I don't happening.
But so Caleb, a couple other notable ones here. Caleb Banks at 46, just injury. If he was healthy, he'd be higher. But
is that bad? Is the foot thing that
back-to-back broken feet at 330 pounds is worrisome.
That's not great.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not awesome. Don't love it.
It's
but someone will take a chance
for me just because I can't.
No, it's fine. I just couldn't. So I don't know if I would take him until around this range because I just don't know if he'll play. So, then Marco Bell at 45, my boy. This is my adopted son, basically. If we're going to pick one of those out for this class, you talked about earlier, Jake. The upside. I don't know how much of upside there is, but the floor is just so enticing to me because at the end of the day, a guy this size, who again 6'9", sorry, Vikings fans, 346 pounds, 346 pounds, 36-inch arms. There's a floor as a pass protector with him.
The measurables are definitely there.
They are, but I think there's a floor with him because he's not like Orlando Brown Jr. tested so badly that people basically were like, this guy can't get drafted. And he tested better than him. And Orlando Brown Jr. has had a really long and fruitful career. I think he could be that level of player. And even if he's not that level of player, I think he can stick around in the NFL for a long time as at worst a swing tackle, but I think a really solid pass protecting left tackle that you do have to kind of get creative with in the run game and how to get him involved, because I think he has limitations there just because of the leverage issues he deals with, and that and the movement skills are limited at 6'9", 346 pounds. But I think if you're a team that doesn't have a solution at left tackle and doesn't think that you can get one in the first round, he would be the first name that I would be looking at to be able to fill that role, because I think he'll at least be able to protect your quarterback quickly.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Like just the idea of him. He's like 71 for me. I think the reason why Jake and I are probably a little lower is that we have seen different versions of this guy in a Raider uniform for the last 20 years. So many different versions, and they're terrible. Yeah, they're all bad. Stone Forsythe, the most recent example.
That's fair. Stone Forsythe has been bad, was bad, and will continue to be bad.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem.
Brandon Parker and
that name like gives me PTSD. Yeah. Oh, Brandon Parker. Oh God.
BP.
Oh God.
And then what was the Maryland guy, Bruce Campbell.
Oh, Bruce Campbell,
freak athlete.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, dude. I don't know where you guys have him, but does everyone just hate Max Clare now? Because
he's just not exciting.
I guess not.
He's 71 for me.
He's 53 for me.
I have him 43. I think he's a second round. He's like a second round tight end that you draft, and he starts for 7 years for you and catches like 60 passes a year.
Yeah, I have a late second grade
on him, so I'm not too far off.
Yeah, I just don't know. I think the consensus is like closer to Jake, which like that makes me mad. No, I'm just kidding, Jake.
It's just like none of these aside from the top one, like none of these tight ends are really like they don't just move me that much.
I get it. They don't move people in the run game either.
Anyway, my comp for Claire is Michael Meyer.
Oh well, I appreciate that for comping him to a Raiders guy.
I mean, yeah, but like if you, I know I do that a lot. I do that probably too much. But like,
it's what you know.
It's pretty accurate. And like Michael Meyer would be a 60 catch a year guy if he played
not for the Raiders.
Half the teams in the league.
Yeah, not for the Raiders.
Yeah, they didn't also have Bowers.
That's fair. I already talked about Price. I have him 41. I think he rocks kind of. Lee Hunter dropped a little bit for me during the process because one, his testing was a little bit weird, and two, like I get that like he's probably just not going to quite rush the passer as well as I kind of hoped he would at the next level. But I still think he's a really good player.
I think that range is perfect.
Yeah, I think that's better for him. Chris Johnson, love Chris Johnson. Want to shout him out. Peter Woods, 34. Just again, his process has just been too weird for me. I'm concerned that something's up with him at the end of the day. It's kind of a vibes thing.
He didn't test, right?
He didn't do well. He tested he did the 10-yard split and not the 40-yard dash, and then was not good at it.
How do you even do that?
He literally just did 10-yard runs. It was weird. It did some weird shit at this. It was weird.
You shouldn't be allowed to do that.
I don't think so either, but I think he was just
why do you need a defensive tackle to run 40 yards?
That's why I think it's okay that I don't blame him for that. But he came in undersized compared to what I thought he'd be. He was 298. He 31-inch arms, which again the arm length of defensive tackle is not always the big deal for me. But 29-inch vert, 8'8" broad, 3-cone and shuttle weren't good. Just nothing was as good as I thought it would be. And maybe that's not the end of the world by any means, but it just everything about his process just screams like something's wrong with him. Whether it's he doesn't quite get it or whatever it is, but something about his entire draft process has just bothered me and I can't get out of my head. And then the lack of production, despite the traits, I hope he works out because he's really fun when it works. When he puts stuff together on tape, even this past year, it's just, I think he's a guy that if someone was to take him in the first round, great. I'd rather take him in the second. And I have Christian Miller just ahead of him. I think he's the most complete defensive tackle in the class that's both healthy and test and didn't do weird shit during the process. I have one other interior defensive lineman ahead of him because I think I just know exactly what I'm getting with him and I'm kind of okay with it. But he's a guy that definitely grew on me the more I watched him. Denzel Boston, 31, just outside or just inside the top 32. I like him, but I just think there's a little bit of kind of Michael Pittman to him where I'm he's a good player, but I don't know if he'll ever be a great one ultimately. D'Angelo Pawn's a 30. I think we all kind of like Pawn, so that's probably not
Just a
that
dog.
bad for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
just ultimate dog team.
Yeah, I'm a little lower on him, but like not by that much. I think he was.
He's 44 for me.
Yeah, I got him at 30 even because I'd take him late in the first round.
30. Yep, he was 30 for me exactly.
Hey,
There we
boom,
go.
there we go.
Nice.
So it's Jake.
I mean, I had the second round grade on him.
Nah, it's fine. Pregnon, I've grown on even more since the start of the process. I just think I know what I'm getting with him as well. Blake Miller, another guy that's risen up the board for me. Like, I think the problem with him is that the upside might not be there. But if you've noticed, in this class especially, if a guy can play like now,
yeah,
I'm kind of down with it. I'm like, you can actually play football like tomorrow. Sweet, I'll draft you pretty high. Because I don't know if a lot of these guys will be able to play football soon. And some of them aren't even young, as we've talked about, which is another problem. It's like, if you're not going to be able to play right now, be young. Half these guys aren't even that. What the hell? Speaking of not being young, Akeem Mesidor at 25 feels right for him.
I had him the exact same spot.
Yeah.
I'm a little lower. He was 31.
Is it because he's old, Dalton?
Yeah, that's literally the only reason. It's literally the only reason. It's because
I know. That's the problem.
a full-grown adult, and I just don't know. And also,
Yeah,
full-grown adult playing in the ACC, and it's just like, I don't know how much of this is because you're actually legit, and how much of it is because you're just like an average NFL player playing in college.
Yeah, right. Which we'll find out, I think, because I think some teams take him in the first round. Maxie Honshore's the guy that I've kind of decided that even though the tape is more of like a early third, I think that it's understandable why that's the case, and I'm going to bank on the freak athlete because that dude, he's a freak athlete. He rocks. Yeah. We'll see if he can put it together.
Another new to the sport guy.
Yeah, another new to the sport guy. So there you go. Zion Young, just if you play with power like he does and you are a just motherfucker in the run game, works for me. I'll take it.
Yeah, I just couldn't put him that high. I am like, for me, he'd be in my top 10 if it weren't for the off-field stuff.
Which, again,
because of the off-field stuff.
I'm less worried about his stuff. Feels less just inhospitable. Is the best.
Wasn't one of his things domestic violence?
If that's the case, I might not have known that, and therefore strike that from the record. I'm going to pretend like I didn't know. I actually don't know. I thought it was just like a DUI thing, and something else was weird with him.
It's a DWI and a misdemeanor assault. So
that's what it was. It was an assault, not a domestic violence, though.
Okay. Don't be hitting people no matter what, but maybe he just needs to be hitting people on the football field like he does. Maybe that's fine. Maybe just keep doing that. But he's a lot of fun. Cade McDonald landed at 22, and it's because at the end of the day, that guy can defend the run. And not like that's he can two gap, he's good. No, he can fuck up run games in the middle of the defense. Like that guy rocks. And is he going to be the highest drafted interior defensive lineman? Probably not. Is he going to probably make the best impacts in year one, if I had to guess? I think so. Because a lot of these guys, I don't know if they're going to do much of anything in year one, frankly. And maybe that's not the ultimate thing that matters, but I'm pretty confident Cade McDonald is going to play in the NFL for like 10 years and be really good. So we'll take that. Jordan Tyson lands at 17. Also, I should talk about David Bailey, actually, for a second. He lands at 18 for me. I'm a little worried about him, guys. A little bit.
What do you think about the whole Jets canceling their visit with him?
I'm hoping, which means it's not true because it's the Jets. I'm hoping they realized we're taking the freak from Ohio State. One of them. I don't care which one.
Yeah.
Take your pick. I'm not going to yell at him either one. I would take Reese because I think the upside as an edge rusher is worth taking, and even if Styles is a better player right now. But if you took either one of them, I'd be like, all right, sure. If they took Bailey, I'd be like, guys, you have David Bailey at home.
I really don't get the second overall thing.
You have David Bailey at home. Will McDonald is pretty much. I think David Bailey might be a better version of Will McDonald, but he's probably kind of like Will McDonald a little bit, and that's okay. That guy's good. He's a good pass rusher. Don't take him at number 2.
Yeah.
That's my
they're either like they either know they're taking Reese or they're definitely or they already decided they're taking Bailey and they don't need the meeting.
Which that's tough either way. Jacob Rodriguez at 21. I know that's probably aggressive, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I've seen more aggressive with him.
Hey, as long as I'm not the most aggressive, right?
He's 60 for me. I just can't.
He's
a mid-day 2 guy, like just a pure mid-day 2 linebacker. Probably gonna be pretty good, but like I don't know, all these undersized, not freak athlete linebackers. I can't get on board with taking them in the first round, no matter how good of like actual football players they are.
Well, that's where we're different, Dalton. And in this class, I'm taking that guy.
I get it. I can't do it.
I get it.
Such a funny like range in this draft because like I have him as a day 2 guy also, but like didn't he go like 15 in the Epic mock or something like that?
19, I think. To the
it was something.
Yeah, 19.
Which like that's still a little early, but I would be like, all right. Especially because it was the Panthers and they just paid linebacker with Floyd, but whatever. Monroe Freeling, I have at 20. I think that's the correct-ish range for him because he has great upside, but also maybe isn't going to be able to start for you right away, at least not successfully. So this whole idea, like the thing with him going to Cleveland at 6, like that probably needs to stop being talked about. But whatever. Omar Cooper Jr. at 19. I thought I was going to be like the highest person on the planet on him early on in this process, and it turns out I might just be average. This might just be.
I've seen. Ryan Wilson today was talking about him going like, I think 11 or something like that.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
He doesn't get it, guys.
I think. Yeah, after Tate, I'm really interested to see how those receivers come off the board because I feel like it could kind of be any order, but
it's gonna be interesting.
Cooper's draft stock just like won't stop going up.
It's really interesting because I do like him as a player, but like he's still receiver, I think 5 for me.
Yeah,
he's just a power slot.
4. He's receiver 5. Yeah. Hey, listen. Power slots are in vogue, Dalton. Don't.
I get it. He's receiver 8 for me. I just this idea that he's going to go in the top 20 just blows my mind.
I actually mocked him to the Steelers at 21. I think if he's there, he will be the pick for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Over Casey Concepcion.
There's too many.
I would rather take KC there because he's higher for me, but I think that's who's going to be the pick if they're both there.
Interesting.
Yeah, they have his old receivers coach on the staff, and they have Frank Signetti
Jr. on the staff.
So
yeah, I think that there's a lot of inside information there going on. Jordan Tyson I have at 17, mostly injury. He'd be closer to 10 if not. I know a lot of teams aren't scared by it. I simply can't ignore that he doesn't play a lot of the games. So we'll see if that stops happening. Kenyon Sadiq at 16 feels right. It's kind of my takeaway on that one. It's like smack dab.
You don't even have him twice on your board, though.
Nope, I don't have him twice. Sorry, Jake. I couldn't get there with twice. Casey at 15. Here's what I'll say with Casey at 15. I know there's a lot of people, specifically, there's one account. I don't know if you guys run into this account, but there's like this guy I think his handle's like, I don't watch film or something like that.
Nice.
On Twitter. And he's like an analytics forward account or something like that. And all he does is like rant at everyone for like not thinking Mekhi Lemon is better at every single thing a receiver does than all the other receivers in this class. Like literally everything, like separation, deep, short, intermediate, everything. And I'm like, I like Mekhi Lemon a lot. I end up actually moving him slightly ahead of Concepcion because I think there's a better chance of him working out in the long term than a guy that does have a couple red flags on his profile. But I am glad to see the guys like Matt Harmon, who I trust a lot when it comes to receiver evaluation. Other guys in the industry coming out and being like, yeah, I like Casey Concepcion a lot. And it makes me feel better about it, I'm not going to lie. But I've seen him a ton.
Yeah, I've seen a good amount of people have him as their wide receiver too.
which again, that's kind of where I was at with him for a long
Which I can
time,
get.
and
I
still
can
close to
understand that.
that. Like him and Lemon are basically back on my board here. Thieneman ended up higher than I thought he was going to, but whenever I looked at everything, I'm like, yeah, this is kind of where I would have him. I think is like the upside with him, especially like if you run a defense that uses more of a deep safety and more of a true like cover 3, cover 1 looks more often, he'd be especially valuable. But I think he just has a ton to work with as a safety prospect. And we get into our final list here for me. Maui Noah and Fano just outside the top 10. I like both of these guys a ton. I do. Tate comes in at 10, which again, this is one of those classes where it's like, would I like to take Carnell Tate in the top 10 usually? Maybe not. More of like a top 15, top 20 player, but you kind of have to, take what you can with this class. Mansour Lane at 9. Ioane at 8. Where do you guys have him?
I think I might have him in this. I have him 13, but I'd get having him at 8. I really like him.
Vega?
Yeah.
I have him. He is 18 for me, right behind Sadiq.
Okay. I just think like in a class like this, a guard of his profile, I had to put him in my top 10. McCoy has had some injury stuff come out on top of what we already knew recently. That I just don't know what to do with it at this point, and it's new enough that I didn't want to completely shuffle my board around for it. But if
he has more stuff,
apparently there is a he had some sort of situation where there's a bone plug that might need replaced from a procedure he needed done a while back that wouldn't necessarily like, change whether or not he's going to be able to be fully healthy eventually, but it just might impact his availability in year 1.
Oh.
So like it's not so much that as much as it is like could he miss even more time and spend even more time away from football before coming back? So like I hesitate to move him based on that, but because I don't know specifically, I'm leaving him at 7. Styles comes in at 6 for me. This is about as high as a linebacker is probably ever going to be ranked for me, if I had to guess, just like pure linebacker. So no shade at him for those who have him higher. Reese at 5. Mendoza I put at 4 because I don't really put position of value into account a lot of the time with my boards. But I do think Mendoza being the clear top quarterback in this class and being a good one, I really do think so. A guy that maybe I wouldn't always want to take at number 1, but definitely in the top 10 to 15 of most drafts at quarterback. Ruben Bain, because I'm not using position of value, was it 3? If I was, he'd be either 1 or 2. But I do think he's going to be phenomenal right off the bat. Caleb Downs at 2, and because again, not position of value, Jeremiah Love at number 1.
I don't hate it. I have Love 4, so I mean,
Love's probably the one I'm furthest apart on. But
you
I
factor
get
in
it.
position of value more, don't you, Dalton?
7. So I factor positional value into my grades, and then I use my round grades to determine my board. Like for example, Sonny Styles is my number 1, right ahead of Mendoza, because Styles I both have him as top 5 grades, meaning I'd take him in the top 5 in any class. But I have Styles is closer to a top 3 grade than Mendoza.
Gotcha. Yeah, because like I want to look at. I just realized how long we've been on the show for, so I want to make sure we talk about our like top players now, both of you, so you guys get to see. We get to see your top players real quick. Yeah, Dalton. Like so, you said Styles is 1.
Yeah, because that's my comp again. I'm gonna stick to this. Brian Urlacher is my comp for Sonny Styles,
right? Which would be awesome. So
like I really think like the profile just fits this, like kind of especially like right now where he's kind of a little skinny, where in like a few years he's gonna like fully like grow into like his grown man body, and I just think he's gonna be a force of nature.
Yeah,
and
totally understand. Mendoza at 2 again with the positional value thing makes total sense. Ruben Bain, David Bailey, you are higher on than me, especially. I don't remember Jake where you have him, but
7.
7, yeah. So I just to expand on that because I want to give you a chance to talk about it too, but for me, I think it's not that unlikely he ends up becoming a guy that doesn't play a lot on first and second down in the NFL. that's just kind of what I think ultimately hurts him, because I think the pass rushing also, not that it's overrated, but I don't think he has the full package of skills that I think you need to have to be like such a good pass rusher that it doesn't matter that you might never be a good enough run defender to play that a lot at the next level to be able to be a top 5 pick. I think he's a guy I'd rather take in the 14 to 20 range in most classes.
Fair. I'd be a little more concerned about him if I was running a 4-man front, about taking him that high. I think if I was running a 3-4, I'd be a little more comfortable with it.
You can get away with it more. Yeah.
I think you can get away with it a little bit more. Also, like, the run defense isn't great. I think he's strong enough that he can like not be a liability out there. Is kind of my thing, especially like assuming you can develop him a little bit more. I just think he is so productive as a pass rusher. And at the end of the day, who makes the money in the NFL at the edge position? It's the guys that get to the quarterback. And at the end of the day, that has one of the, I mean, you look after the quarterback position, what are the next 2 most valuable things in the league? The guys that protect the quarterback's blind side and the guys that go get the quarterback.
What's actually funny is now it's actually receivers, then edge, then receivers.
Receivers are right there.
Like in terms of contract value, at least. Like you could argue that tackles are still more valuable technically, right? But yeah, it's funny that that's where we're at with receivers.
Yeah, receiver money has kind of gone.
It's gotten a little crazy.
Which,
But Reese at 5, I definitely I think that's the same spot I have him for sure. Downs at 6. Again, like I get it, it's a safety.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But like, yeah, the same thing with Love. It's a running back. I understand that. So, but like in a vacuum, I think that he's the best player in the class.
Yeah, and like my thing on Love, why I have a top 10 grade and not a top 5 grade is just, it's literally like
what running back would be
like Saquon or CMC.
Yeah, it's like what running back would be graded top 5 outside of like those two, basically.
And the big difference between those guys and Love is they can make people miss in the open field. And I just don't know if Love can do it, because Love doesn't do it, because he just tries to jump over everybody, and that's dumb.
Well, we'll find out if he can do it, I guess. I think he definitely has. The problem with that is, like, I get that, but also he clearly has the physical ability to do so. I think it's almost too much physical ability, so he knows he can, like, do that shit and get away with it too often. And he's going to have to learn that he can't do it.
I just haven't seen as much of the wiggle.
I see it more as a receiver than I do as a runner, which is weird.
For sure.
But like, so that tells me that if a team is like, hey, can you stop fucking jumping over everyone? Then maybe he'll be fine. Like, and I know it's dumb, but like, maybe that's all.
It could be. It could also be one of those things where it's like he knows he's better than like.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's just like, I'll try it. Yeah, I'll try it. Who cares? But yeah, I like this. So you also had Fano and Malinois right next to each other. That's funny.
Yeah. I think Fano projects as a little bit more of a tackle, possibly, than Malinois. That's kind of the big difference.
Yeah. That's right. You're really a big Lomu guy. I forgot about that.
Well, Lomu, I think Lomu is the guy I'm most confident is going to be a left tackle in this class.
And that's fair. I had Lomu. Where did I have him?
I do value left tackle a little bit more. Even though the league is starting to go away from that, I'm kind of a traditionalist in that way. I'm like, can you be that franchise anchor guy?
Yeah. I had Lomu at 35. I just think he has a lot of growing to do still, and I'm a little concerned about the play strength.
Yeah, he might not be able to start right away. Fair.
Yeah, also, Caden Proctor. I know you're a big Caden Proctor guy, which I respect it, but something about big old Alabama tackles spooks me.
Yeah. And I mean, also, like, I think Mekhi Becton, everyone just watches him and just can't unsee Mekhi Becton.
A little bit,
and it's really unfair, I think.
It is, but it's scary, man. I don't know. I get scared by it. Where did you have Caden Proctor, Jake?
19.
Okay, 19. So yeah, you guys like Caden Proctor a lot. Where did I forget where I had Caden Proctor. I don't dislike him that much. He scares me a little bit.
Like kind of a freak.
36 is where I had Proctor. I also think he should just play guard, so I don't have to think about the tackle thing.
See, I think he can do the tackle thing, but I mean, I think
I think he could. But if he doesn't even have to try to do it, and I can just say, "Hey, play guard, be big, be strong,"
Yeah,
I'd feel better about
but
it.
you also don't have to worry about like his massive frame going side to side. But
Yeah.
He's also a wide receiver.
I also think he can do
Yes.
tackle, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Draftable wide receiver on top of
wide receiver 30. Yeah, in this class.
Yeah, draftable receiver.
That.
That's probably right, roughly. We know
Falk.
that. Yeah. Keldrick Falk.
Where did I have Falk?
I
had Falk 37.
Yeah, I had him 57.
Here's the. This is all I'm gonna say. The run defense right away is arguably the best in this edge class, and
it better be
21. And he's 21.
I know.
I know. Like the
I do. 21 is a good thing going for him. Yeah.
I don't even think he is 21 yet. Actually,
no, he's definitely over 21. We found out that there was this theory that he was 20, but he's already 21 right now. So
gotcha.
His mom like wished him like happy 21st a couple months ago or something like that, and it was like people were like, wait a minute, I thought he was 20, and now he's over.
He'll be 22 at the start of the year because he's born September 7th.
But either way,
but young.
Here's the thing. My thing ultimately, Dalton, and I'm not willing to like victory lap this yet because it was 1 year and he also got hurt and it's tough. I think he's probably just Mykel Williams.
See, I love Mykel Williams.
I know, but he was the worst pass rusher on a rate basis in the league last year from the edge position, quite literally. But again, like I don't trust guys who can't rush the passer at the college level at all to suddenly learn how to do it, and not in like some guys don't produce because the scheme they played in or whatever, and his scheme didn't do him favors because they played him closer to how I think should be played, which is a like 3-4 defensive end and not a 4-3 defensive end. That's kind of what I wish he was doing because I believe in the ability to be a pass rusher more, but I just don't think he has the juice as a pass rusher, specifically when it comes to being able to get off the ball and put moves together. And he has power, but it doesn't show up in the way that it does against the run, which is just weird. So maybe he can figure that out, but I wouldn't want to take a chance on it until the second round, basically, is where I'm at. And Mykel Williams is a good example of like why I just don't like that archetype of player for a first round pick, at least, right? You can get with me in the second round because if all he ever is like a occasional pocket pusher, rusher, but also dynamite against the run, I'll take that in the middle of the second round, but I'm not taking it in the middle of the first round. That's kind of where I land with him ultimately.
I get it.
Yeah.
But if he works out, he'll probably be awesome because I like the idea of a guy like him. I love that archetype of player when they can rush the passer. I just haven't really seen him rush the passer, so I worry about it a little bit. But you're also, I remember, that's right, you are really high on TJ Parker.
The Clemson D lineman, I mean, I'm really high on Woods.
You're just buying into the idea that it was this year, which I respect that because I hope so. Because that'll be awesome.
I just can't look at those guys and be like, oh, those aren't top 20 guys.
I get it. I want to do that. Can't do it. Simply
I get
can't do it. I would love to. Can't get myself to do it. Surratt inside the top 32. I know that. I get it. Anyone else?
He does. He has like tumbled down my board in the last 3 months
compared to where you had him. Yeah, but again, I just worry his profile is just scary a little bit.
I get it.
It's a little scary.
I'm worried I'm gonna get burnt by him.
Yeah. I have this feeling he's gonna end up being just at least good.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Hopefully. Ted Hurst at 8 or 30?
Yeah, 38. Yeah, Ted Hurst. That's a guy I would pound the table for.
Table for. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway. That was for Jake.
That's just a freak athlete that also has like surprising nuance to his game. I don't know. Like I know you guys got him right.
Yeah, he's 70, he's 78 for me.
He is 73, so I'm kind of along with Shane.
Yeah,
but I see the upside.
I like the upside. It's tough for Georgia State.
That athleticism and that's true. When you have that, and then like I do really like his route running. I mean, the upside is definitely there. So I get it.
And I just like the release ability. I thought was impressive, and for someone that probably didn't really need to have a deep bag of releases with where he played, still was pretty creative on them.
Yeah.
And then the late hands, like that was the one that jumped out at me that I was like, oh, and if you're going to be a down the field threat, like being late hands and also just generally a hands catcher instead of letting the ball getting into his body, which is the thing I hate about Surratt.
At Bryce Lance also.
Yeah. I just think that like the nuances to the game are also like so impressive for someone that, again, doesn't have to have any of these things right now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like he's a guy I hope the Dolphins target in the 3rd round because he would. I think him and Malik Willis could be kind of sick. Like
I'm mocking him to the Raiders in the 3rd.
Well, I want you. Wait, you're walking him to the Raiders?
Yeah, of course.
What? A player you like? You're mocking him to the.
Yep.
Anyway,
I don't think he's gonna fall to the 3rd round though.
No, yeah. But let's get Jake's board up here too before we finish up with the big boards. But I think generally what we've learned with Dalton is that he says to trust the fact that Clemson is just weird in general. He likes Ted Hurst, and he hates running backs.
I do. I do. But hey, Jonah Coleman.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Jonah Coleman. Where did you have him again, Dalton?
He was. Where did you have him, Jake? Because I might need a minute to find him.
He's 49 for me. 2nd running
That
back.
is right around where I had him.
I'm a big Jonah Coleman guy.
I want to be. He's 84 for me.
He is 52 for me. So yeah, Jake's actually higher on him than me.
Yeah. Man, Jonah Coleman would be really cool if he was not in his body. I like him still. Like, there's a lot of people who despise him because he's like maybe the least athletic built running back in the history of the sport.
Yeah,
but he's really good at doing running back stuff. He just is. He's one of those guys.
Running back. Like,
yeah,
he just, yeah.
I get it. Where's he on the consensus board nowadays? It can't be high.
He fell.
96.
I'm for sure.
Yeah, 96.
Oh man, the tape is
he's
the tape.
Gonna
like,
be
it
good,
works.
Though. Yeah, he's just like, I'm just more confident about him. Like he's gonna be good.
Yeah, there's some people that I've seen that I do respect. I'm not gonna name any names right now, but who legitimately have him as like a 6th round pick, and they're like, there's just no way it's gonna work. It can't possibly work. And I understand why they feel that way. I do.
If you watch the tape, it works.
Yeah.
Like
it just does.
It does. It just kind of works.
I get it because like
what do you do?
Not incredible. So I get it, but 6 rounds, like
yeah, but also like part of me is like, here's the thing. I knew he wasn't going to test probably, right? Because there's no way it could possibly be good. Like we're probably talking about like a 4.65 40.
It would have been bad.
We're probably like he's already 5'8", 220 pounds, which is an interesting build for a running back for sure. Not necessarily a bad one, but an interesting one. I can't imagine he would have jumped very high or far. But again, like that doesn't always matter.
It would have been a brutal RAS score.
Yeah, the RAS was probably in the 2s at best, probably. But like at the same time, like I don't know if it matters that much. Yeah, I don't know if it matters that much. I think running back's the one position that I will consistently say, like, if I think what they do on tape it works well enough, I'm just gonna assume it will continue to work in an NFL offense that will block even better probably and have more ways to get these guys in position to succeed. I'm generally going to think it's going to work. There's also the fact that he was banged up for a lot of last year, and maybe people are baking that into this a little bit because he wasn't as good when he came back, and I think he was playing through injury a little bit.
Yeah.
But even though I'm lower on him than you two, I'm still higher than consensus is at this point, and I'm still like, I'll take him to the 3rd round, see what happens. Like, I'll give a shot. I might not feel super awesome about it because it might just blow up in my face because he is like, again, like a putrid athlete for the position, but he made it work. What are you gonna say?
Yeah.
I mean, the number that sticks out to me, in 2025, he forced 32 missed tackles.
Yeah, and he was injured this past year.
Yeah.
Like he just makes people miss tackles. Like it isn't always pretty.
Yeah, he's just hard to bring down.
I mean, when you're 5'8", how to tackle, low center of gravity.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting to Jake's top of the board here, Downs at 1, respect.
So good. Like he can impact the game like everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I just can't. Like I know he's a safety. I know people don't like having safeties that high, and I get it. But
most years you're right, but a little different this year.
You could put him at outside cornerback, and he'll do well. Man or zone. You could put him in the slot against a quick guy, and he could stick with him. You can put him against a tight end, and he can play him. He just like I don't like. There's like no faults in his game to me. So even though
I have a hot. I don't know if this is necessarily a hot take, but I do have a take with Downs at this point. I think if he goes at the Giants at 5 or 10, either one, I think they're very different body types. But I think that Harbaugh is just going to have his defensive coordinator just say, "Do the Kyle Hamilton thing." Just play him wherever you like. Down in the box, deep sometimes in the slot, be a primary slot, like just whatever you want to do.
I think Hamilton might be a little better like against the run, but I think
he's just so much bigger and like, he has 8-foot arms, so
yeah. I actually did use that. I did a scouting report for him. I wrote one up earlier this year, and I actually did compare him to Kyle Hamilton.
I think that's how you should use them. Like they're not the same player in terms of like the overall skill set, because Hamilton's kind of like a one of one like unique build. But
but you could literally put Downs like anywhere except the defensive line, and he'll be good.
Probably, like he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So,
Sadiq. I'm not sure if I was higher on Sadiq than you guys.
Oh yeah, for me at least. I think Dalton
I just kind of.
He had him at that's fine. Yeah, he was at 17, and I had him at 16. Yeah. So you're higher, definitely.
Kind of, almost for the same reason as Downs. Like he's also like a chess piece. Like he even played running back at Oregon at some points and like got the ball in the backfield. But
you can hand him the ball.
I mean, he's a good blocker. You know,
do it. Why not? I did.
They did. Like I watched this film. There's like 3 plays. They just like
just run jet sweep to him if you need to. Why not?
Yeah, I just
halfback
dive. Yeah, I mean he can do everything.
Probably.
I had Shane. Where'd you have Mendoza at?
I had him at 4 because like quarterback. Also, just like I think people kind of shit on him at this point a little bit because they're like he's been the first round pick for months. We don't care about him anymore. Who cares? He's a good player. He's a good player.
He's good.
Well, now
I'm back a little bit less excited on him than most.
Because your team's drafting him. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we've actually gone full circle with Mendoza. If you guys have been on Twitter in like the last like 72 hours, it's all of a sudden come back around. Now everyone's saying they like Mendoza because of his Cal tape.
That's
the draft cycle is too long.
It's both too long and not long enough.
These last few weeks,
depending on the purpose of the draft for you, it's either too short or too long. But the Cal tape showed the flashes that Indiana saw. That was like, this guy could win a national championship for us. The Indiana tape is why he's going first overall. So if people are telling you that like he's now they like him because it was Cal tape,
those people are just
did you not like him at Indiana?
Like do you think that the Indiana tape is why you were not sold on him? Because like he was a lot better.
Or I think the idea is that they're like, he didn't just come out of nowhere. His Cal tape actually showed a lot of the NFL things.
There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes more sense. But
I think part of it is the Cal offense was a little less gimmicky.
Because Indiana was just like, we're better than you at these things. We're going to spam the fuck out of RPO and like out routes and then post route, go burr, fuck you, basically. Which and that's fun.
That wasn't the reason that I had him a little lower either, because I know he did do more complex stuff at Cal, but where did you guys have McCoy? I'm assuming I'm higher.
I had him at 8
on him. Oh, okay, never mind.
But that's because I'm also factoring in the fact I'm not factoring in the injury stuff because, or I have
same.
I had 7. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I have him at 19 because to me the injury stuff is just like I just don't know how much better he got from last year to this year because he was hurt. That's kind of really
I've been seeing talk about him falling all the way out of the first round.
That's because of the update recently where people think he might miss even more time to start his career because of the injury. Even if it's not something that should be like a long-term thing, theoretically, it might just delay his comeback even more, which sucks.
I just realized I spelled Jordan Tyson's name wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, that one's tough to spell wrong. Actually, I'm not going to lie.
I know. That's a rough one.
I was about to say that one.
Editor for this big board or something.
Listen. It's the only reason that my board I'm pretty sure is pretty pristine is because I literally am an editor. Like, so I think that's just in my blood. Like, it's kind of hard for me not to do that. But yeah,
I just don't get like the whole like taking like dropping guys out of the first round just because you're worried about what their year one production is. That's just so dumb to me.
Like when teams didn't take Will Johnson or Jeffrey Simmons
or the Notre Dame guy.
Which one? That was
the corner from last year.
Benjamin Morrison.
Ben Morrison.
Yeah,
who had a pretty good year too last year, didn't he?
I actually don't remember. It's been too long. I've forgotten everything. I don't know any players in the NFL right now. I only know the ones that are about to get drafted in 2 days. That's it. I'm just kidding. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think he might have struggled a little bit, but he was also a rookie corner, so who gives a shit? So
he went to Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah, Tampa Bay. I think he actually got outplayed by the other corner they drafted that I also kind of liked. I think out of Kansas State. What's his name?
I can't tell you, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember his name right now. It's gonna bother me probably.
All right.
But yeah, I think again doing that is just weird. It's Jacob Parrish is who I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Parrish ended up replacing him down the stretch or something like that. But anyway, point is taking players for what they'll do in year one to a certain degree only really matters if like you desperately need year one production for like a Super Bowl window type of thing. Outside of that, you probably shouldn't be that concerned about a guy's year one in general.
Yeah. And if you're that concerned, trade the pick for a player.
Yeah. Like the Rams sort of did both, maybe. They might do both. They might take a player at 13 and traded their 29th pick already. So maybe let's do both.
Could you imagine if they traded 29 for A.J. Brown?
What could have been? Now he's going to go to the Patriots. Thanks, Diana.
But not until June. I don't.
Well, it's because of the contract. That's why it's a post-June thing. Like they could not physically trade him before post-June 1st if they wanted to. The
that means
cap
they
would
can't
literally
get
explode.
in this draft for him.
No, it's next year. They'll have to send a pick for next year.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah,
that's why trade him.
Well, next year's class should be better, as they always say.
Yeah,
we'll see. I think it's almost a guarantee he's getting traded already, but especially if they take like any receiver at 23, it's a done deal. It's over.
Yeah. Well, is this a good segue into predictive mock?
If we're feeling up for doing it, considering I've kept you guys, at least Dalton up till midnight.
I think we can knock it out quick.
I think we have to because the draft's in 2 days. We gotta.
Yeah, when else are we gonna do
there's
it?
There's that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We'll just go through it quicker.
The quicker with us. The point I was trying to make is that I wasn't going to make you guys do it because I'm the one who's a weirdo and goes to bed at 5 a.m. because I edit articles until 5 a.m. every night. But I will. Yeah, we absolutely can and probably should do so. Yeah. But I will say.
Do it.
I'd already have one pulled up because I'm not a scrub.
Oh yeah.
So I don't have to spend time doing that. Let me just
pull that second win now.
There we go. Boom. I'm gonna need it because I have a lot of stuff to do after this. Believe it or not.
No.
Well, I have to write a couple things and then also edit probably like 12 things. So that'll be fun. We'll get there. I might just not sleep tonight. Who gives a shit? I'll be able to sleep in 5 days when the draft is over. So, let me get the board ready to go. Let Jake get back here in a second.
Yeah, this kind of works out though because my NBA parlay tonight hinges on the Lakers beating the Rockets. So,
oh well, I wish you luck because I want the Lakers to win that series. So, for my own purpose,
they're winning right now.
What's the score?
67-59 in the third quarter.
I'll take that. Not bad.
Yeah,
Because Katie
not a
came back
fun-
this week, I think.
I'm not sure.
I think they said he was playing this game. So I was like, if they can beat, they took game 1 and they can take game 2 with Katie in the lineup. I'm feeling good about the Lakers making it out of here.
All right, so the Raiders trade this pick to the Jets.
Right, for 17 first-round picks and also just Will McDonald because,
yeah. How do we want to do this? Are we just taking turns, or are we doing as a group?
I wanted to do it as a group so we would
like
have a
that.
consensus a little bit. So Jake will be back in a second, he said.
But
this one we can make this pick.
He's
not going to be upset. Yeah, Fernando Mendoza might as well be the quarterback of the future for the Las Vegas Raiders at number 1.
Yeah,
this is immediately where the draft starts to get interesting, apparently, which I find fascinating.
I think it's Reese.
I still think so too.
The canceled Bailey meeting is just weird, and I don't know. I just feel like the whole Bailey thing's smokescreen.
I want to believe that for the Jets' sake because, again, I'm not high on Bailey as it is, and also I just think it's a bad process to take a player like him at number 2 overall when you could take multiple other players that I think have 1 higher upside and 2 more utility for you right this minute. Frankly, I would go with Reese if I was them. Most likely, if like going with the fact that they're not going to take like Bain or someone like that we might want to take. I think it's going to be Reese. I'd be curious to see if Jake feels differently, but I have a feeling he also feels that Reese would be the right pick here. Let's see. I think we'll go with Reese, and then I could always undo it if Jake was going to kill us if we did it, but I doubt he's going to be that upset about it.
Are we doing any trades?
That's the thing. I think we should entertain them because they are going to happen. It's just predicting them is obviously tough, but I think that already starts right here at 3.
Yeah. That one that was made an epic mock was so good.
It was really good. I don't think that's going to happen in real life, obviously.
I don't think the Giants are moving up.
Especially when they just got another top 10 pick.
In the top 10. Yeah.
I would say I think the Cardinals are ultimately going to be forced to stick and pick here because I don't think teams are going to be willing to come up to 3. And we can give the Cardinals what they would want to get to do so.
Yeah.
And then it's just Styles here. To me, if I had to guess who they're going to actually take if they stick and pick here, I don't think they're going to take a linebacker at 3. I don't think they're going to do that. I think if they stick and pick, it's one of 3 players. It's take your pick of who you think the best offensive lineman is that they would want, which is early for all of us, but I think that that's just the reality of the situation. Yeah. I think they would consider Bailey. I do. And then I think if it's not either of those 2, weirdly enough, even though I think it's ridiculous, there's so much smoke about it that I have to throw it out there. I don't think it's impossible that Jeremiah Love is picked here.
Yeah, I've been wondering that more. I think 3, 4, or 5, he is going to go.
One of those picks, I think, is going to be Jeremiah Love. You're right. I don't think still at the end of the day that it's going to be the Cardinals, but I think his range at least starts there. And it's weird, but I think it's true.
The Giants are a team. I just don't sleep on the Giants taking him, but
I think if the Cardinals and Titans pass on him, I think he'll be the pick at 5.
Yeah. Now they have 2 picks. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll be the pick at 5.
But
if he falls
I don't know. I think he. Yeah. Who else would possibly move up? And what would they move up for?
There's been talk about the Chiefs potentially moving up. There's been talk, obviously, with the Cowboys having 12 and 20. And I think if the Cowboys moved up, it would have to be for Styles or Bailey, I would guess.
Yeah, that just feels so weird. Like
it does. That's the problem. Like I feel like they can stick and pick and get a lot of what they need without having to give up both those picks.
Yeah. Could the Commanders move up for Love?
They just don't have any picks.
Yeah.
So they'd have to give up picks next year, and so Jake, real quick to catch up. We decided Mendoza, obviously, because that's easy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right. Whoa. And then Arvel Reese felt like we're not going to do the Jets dirty and assume they fuck up. We're struggling with the Cardinals a little bit though because they want to move down. Clearly, I don't know who does it at this point, and also if they stick and pick, the three names I can come up with that I think make sense based on what I've heard about them. The best offensive lineman that they think is on the board. I think they would consider Bailey. And I think that they would consider, even though I think it's kind of nuts, I think there's enough smoke around it for it to be Jeremiah Love, potentially.
I would not be against Jeremiah Love here.
I think it's possible. I don't think I ultimately kind of told
Dalton
that I don't think they'll do it. Right, but because we're predicting though, we're predicting, like I'm not sure if I trust that they're actually going to do it, but I've heard enough about it for it to be a consideration. Is there a team you think could move up that other than like the Cowboys or something like that? The Chiefs have been in talks with teams apparently. Because I don't really see a team.
The Chiefs, but that's probably for an O lineman, and I don't know if you're
right. And I just
doing
can't.
That now.
That whole thing is weird. So. Yeah, the whole thing is weird.
What do you think they do at? What offensive lineman would you guys think they take here, Fano or?
Probably Maui. Probably Maui Noah.
Maui Noah.
If I had to guess,
that might be the pick.
Do we think this might be a David Bailey team?
That's why I said Bailey maybe, but like,
yeah,
I don't know for sure because there was the weird thing with Josh Sweat apparently asking out of Arizona, but I haven't heard about that in like a month now, so maybe that's not a problem now. They could use more pass rush, obviously.
Yeah. They did just use a first-round pick on Walter Nolan last year, though.
Yeah, it's interior rush though, too, so it's not as big of a thing. I think if we stick and pick, my guess is it would be a tackle.
Yeah, we could go Maui Noah here.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Maui Noah feels more like that.
I don't feel great about it,
but I think that's what it would be.
More logical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Titans, this to me is Styles or Love. Which one? That's really just, I think it's between those two. I don't think they go Bailey here. I think that it'd be Love or Styles.
Yeah.
It's just which one.
Is linebacker valuable enough of a position that they take Styles over Love?
I think because they're both low value positions, I think Saleh would love to get his hands on Styles because he is that linebacker coach, but also you also need to help your quarterback. And if you're not taking like Carnell Tate here, which I don't think they're going to do, or a receiver here, I think, or even offensive line with Maui Noah off the board already, I think it would probably be Love.
I don't know. I would almost argue that because if you get a guy like Styles, I've mentioned this before, a linebacker like that, your defense is never going to be worse than like 20 in the league. And like an average defense, I think, does more for a quarterback than a running back with no offensive line.
I don't disagree with you.
They do have Pollard. I know that's not like an exciting.
He's getting older though,
and they're like running back. They invest a lot in him.
Yeah, but I think this might be the last year of his deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they could go running back later.
They could, but
I'll go
way
Styles.
Later.
Yeah,
I think I feel better about Styles being the pick here, which I think sets us up very quickly to just take Love at 5.
Yeah, because I like Cam Scatteraboo. He surprised me, but especially after the injury, you're not.
Cam Scatteraboo might play for 3 more years.
Yeah, mega CTE incoming, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's not keeping you from drafting Love, and also like drafting Love allows you to still use Scatteraboo as like a pure short yardage back.
They can both play. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that would maybe be a hang up here is
that'd be a fun duo.
It would be. The only hang up here is do they think Downs is just better? But I think that they probably would think Love is better ultimately. Personally. But what do you guys think?
Harbaugh invested heavy in Derrick Henry.
He did.
That's true.
Yeah.
And this feels like more,
Yeah, and I think Downs might be more of like a 7th overall.
which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah, I'm going with Love.
Yeah, we'll do Love. Browns, it's either Carnell Tate or a tackle, but with Maui Noa off the board, Fano could be that pick. But I would guess they get. You think it's Fano? You think they go tackle first?
It just feels so early for Tate. I don't know.
It does, but also like, I don't know, like if they don't think Fano's a tackle, which it's hard to say, because they signed like 15 guards, including a tackle that kind of plays guard most of the time, and the guy they traded for from the Texans, can't think of his name right now.
They did do a lot on the offensive line in the offseason.
Specifically in the interior, which is why I'm like, if they don't love the tackles enough at 6, could they just say, screw it, we're going to take the receiver that we're pretty sure is good?
Yeah, that is their biggest need right now.
Yeah. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah.
One way or the other?
I actually think I don't know why. I just feel like the Browns would take Tate here.
I do too, and I think it's not a bad pick. Tate's number 10 on my board. It's not that much of a reach, but it's just it doesn't feel great because Tate's not like a top 10 receiver typically. But also, like, do you love the tackles here enough to take them in the top 10 either?
I love Fano in the top 10, but you're kind of right. I think if they're looking at it where he might not be a tackle, I don't know if they
and they might just bank on the fact that one of the developmental tackles is going to be there at 24.
Yeah. I don't think the league Fano as much as we do.
I don't think so either. I think it's kind of this weird like middle ground with them because they're not sure what to do with them.
Yeah, but I mean, is there wide receiver 1 still Jerry Jeudy?
Technically,
yeah.
Yeah,
they have
maybe
to take a
maybe a healthy Cedric Tillman would beat him out, but
or Isaiah Bond.
Isaiah Jail Bond.
He's good now.
No, he got yeah, I know.
And he actually didn't look bad.
No, but also it's pretty easy to look not the worst player in the world when you're playing in that receiving room. So
yeah,
no, we'll see with him. He's interesting. We'll go Tate here though. I think.
I think
Washington. This is probably Bailey or Downs, but probably Downs because they invested in edge pretty heavily though. So
yeah.
So I'd guess Downs here.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that? Or do we feel?
I think if Downs is on the board here, I think that's who they're.
That's kind of my thing.
Not running the card in for,
but I think. But if he doesn't go at 5, I think the next logical spot is 7.
Yeah.
That defense is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do Downs.
And he's a guy that immediately upgrades it too because he can do so many different.
Yes. Yeah.
Different things.
Saints at 8.
I've heard some stuff about them potentially being a trade down spot. Like not a lot.
Yeah.
But I could see it because I think their target, to me, I wonder if their target's Sadiq, because I wonder, especially Sadiq, I feel like would be an ownership pick because I feel like there'd be some ownership and like front office people that are like, we finally got our replacement for Drew Brees at quarterback. Now we just got to replace Jimmy Graham, and then we're good.
Hey, but they have Juwan Johnson in the building. No,
I don't like Juwan Johnson.
No,
he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not Kenyon Sadiq.
No, I do think a sneaky thing here is I think they're hoping Carnell Tate's there. Actually, is who I think they're hoping is there.
I agree.
But if he's not, I think. Do we think it's possible that they could go David Bailey? Because right now you have Chase Young and Carl Granderson, both of whom are probably better than people think off the top of their heads. But also, are you committed to them both long term? Probably not. Bailey doesn't really get here often, but I think it's possible if he doesn't go at 2 or 3.
To the Dolphins?
Yeah, I mean at 8.
No, I hope not for their sake because they have 7 David Baileys on the roster, basically, just not as good. It's like, hey, we don't have as good David Bailey, but we have 7 sort of David Baileys. Let's get David Bailey. I hope they wouldn't do that, but I also don't think they want to move up in this draft. I think if anything, they want to move down. But we'll see. Mostly for next year's picks.
Move up. Is this where the Cowboys move up for David Bailey?
I would be willing to look into that for sure.
I can see that.
Because they could probably do if we did. Let's just look at it real quick. If we did, where's the Cowboys? Nice, just
top left.
Oh, Dallas. There we go. and then New Orleans. So if we did 12 and 8, and then we'd probably have to give up 92 and more, actually.
It would be like a later round.
152. That would get it done. Did you do
Yeah,
that?
or like
Do you think they would
Maybe
do that?
one. Yeah, I mean, for the sake of the mock, yeah, but maybe like one. Oh, it doesn't want to do 170.
It'd have to be 152.
Yeah, I think that would work.
Because you keep 20.
yeah. Or do they maybe give up like next year's third or next year's second? I mean, and just call it a day, and like not 152.
They could. That would work too.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could get no 172. I'll take it. This I think that this would be. I mean, I would find it to be an overpay, but I think that Dallas would do this if they really like Bailey.
Yeah,
This is a Jerry.
because they also
this
still have
is a Jerry move.
Yeah, because they might think the Chiefs would take Bailey to be that like fire starter off the edge that they don't have. So maybe they would think that they would do that.
I agree. I think
you guys want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Boom. Get the sales ad off my screen.
So we're just running the pick in.
Yeah, we're gonna get Bailey here. Yeah. Chiefs at 9. I think they're the Ruben. I think they're the Ruben Bain team. The more I think about it, because he is such a Spags edge rusher.
Yeah, I could see
just
that.
Big, physical, powerful edge.
But like, is he too much exactly like George Karlaftis?
See, I think he's much better than him, and we all think that.
Well,
but also, that's what the Chiefs like, though. They keep drafting George Karlaftis. They want 7 George Karlaftises. This one, though, if they do, they might get actually not George Karlaftis, but the same thing, but better. So I think that this is the type of player that they would want to take at edge anyway. But also, there has been talk about the offensive line. I think Fano would be a good pick. Apparently, though, and I find this fascinating, it's not like they're set at either tackle spot until we get to see what Simmons looks like in year 2, as much as I liked him when he played last year. Apparently, Chiefs fans are basically about ready to riot if they take a tackle in this class at 9. I find that fascinating. But the Chiefs
really don't
seem interested. They seem interested.
Don't realize how bad their offensive line is.
They think it's fine, and it might be this year.
Makes it okay,
but it also might be like this year. But afterwards, who knows? You have 2 long-term pieces you absolutely know are going to be there. After that, Simmons, I think he played really well last year, but he had some injury stuff again and also just had some weird stuff going on. And the right tackle, I don't even remember. I think it's Jalen Moore right now. Is that who it is?
Yeah.
I don't get it. But I do think they would lean Bain here in this situation, though. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're getting him at 9, like I'm not.
Yeah,
like, I'm good with either one, but I think they would lean Bain. Yeah, I think they would lean
especially
Bain.
with them having another pick and they can go tackle later.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
This to me, I don't know if you guys are in agreement with the smoke around this. I think this is Jordan Tyson.
I have seen a lot of Tyson at 10.
Yeah. Miami's general manager and the Giants not general manager anymore, really. Joe Shane were the only 2 GMs to go to his workout. And I think there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because I think both of those teams know that he's a top 10 talent, that if they're okay with where he's at injury-wise, might be worth a swing in the top 10 or 11 in this case with the Dolphins at 11. I think the Giants are the team that do it.
My only other thought is, I know it's the other hardball, but I feel like he would also be very into Ioane here.
I agree. I don't think that it's like a foregone conclusion that they would take Tyson. I'm just saying from what the things we've seen most recently, it feels like they're going to be the team that's going to say, if he works out, pairing him with Malik Neighbors would be absolutely sick for your rookie quarterback, and you also have the running game figured out with Jeremiah Love. They could just sit there and say, defense, we'll figure it out. We'll add some pieces.
That would be a fun offense.
That offense is about
Yeah.
as good as you could hope for a rookie quarter or a young quarterback
Other
to
than
be
the fact
in.
that Jackson Dart's quarterback.
Exactly. But hey, guess what? If he's not good, it's his fault. That's what you could
I
say.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah. If you walk out of this and you have Neighbors, Tyson,
And Love.
Scadaboo,
Yeah.
Love, and Jackson Dart, that's about as good as you can rebuild a young offense, I think.
Right. Like that's about as good because the offensive line right this minute is workable, if not good.
Yeah.
At times, if everyone's healthy.
Depends on how you feel about Jermaine Illuminor.
I think he's a average right tackle in the NFL at this present
Yeah,
moment.
I think he's fine.
Which is better
Like,
than
it's
a
not
lot of
anything
teams
special,
have
but-
right now at right tackle. So
Yeah.
And then, I mean, problem is right now they are starting. I forgot Harbaugh loves Daniel.
that's probably
Holloway.
la. He just likes him, so I'm just gonna assume he's gonna play him.
And I
anyway,
don't know
so.
why.
No,
But
no.
Yeah.
But that's my thoughts. I would be willing to listen to like even Delane or Fano here.
Fano actually makes a lot of sense. But
And
I don't
Ioane.
think that's the pick they're gonna do.
No, I do think it's Tyson, but I want to see if you guys feel differently because I think that
I'm good with Tyson.
it
could
just
see
makes
that.
a lot of sense based on what we've been seeing recently.
Yeah.
But it could be smoke.
I've seen
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of it might be smoke, but I've seen a lot of Tyson. Like ever since they got this pick.
Right. The fact that they got this pick and then we're also like around his pro day, like his personal pro day.
Yeah.
It just feels like kind of like they're going to be the first team that's willing to take the swing, and so they might do it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean,
if
yeah,
you guys
I'm
are
good with that.
You good, Dalton? You think?
Yeah.
Okay. This to me, one of these two players here.
I was thinking Fano here just so Malik Neighbors has a less chance of dying. Or not Malik Neighbors. Malik Willis has less chance of dying.
You're that quarterback, you kind of have to do.
Yeah. I would take Fano here too. And I think they would in the situation. I think the Delane thing makes a ton of sense. But I think Halfley is used to not having actual like legit NFL corners out there with the Packers, and he figured it out. Not that the rest of his defense is good enough to make that work, but I think he's willing to accept the fact that he might have to get through a season with Storm Duck out there playing corner. Not even a joke, real person. So I think Delane would make.
Do they still have Jack Jones?
Nope.
Oh man.
They don't even have Rasul Douglas right now. They got Storm Duck and insert created and Madden player here. But I think they'll address that later in the draft. I would go Fano here if I was Dolphins. I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm good with Fano.
Yeah. So again, unless you guys feel differently.
Alive.
Yeah. He could play guard and you could sit Jonas Savania's stupid ass down if you need him to, or Solier, whichever one doesn't win that job. And then when Austin Jackson inevitably plays 4 games, you can play him right tackle. So that I think makes a lot of sense.
Now, here's
Saints,
where I was thinking Sadiq, but there's a guy that just makes way too much sense for this pick.
Does he play in the same state?
Correct.
Yeah. I think this is kind of like the floor for. I think this is the path to get Delane outside of the top 11 picks is what we just did. Because I think otherwise he'd probably go somewhere in that range. I would have a hard time not taking Delane. Yeah, if I was the Saints.
Yeah, it's 12. I mean, that's good.
I think this makes sense for them specifically.
Yeah, you pair him with Kool-Aid and
you're drinking the Kool-Aid.
That's pretty good. It's defensive backfield.
Pretty good back there.
Because Kool-Aid is an ideal number 2, but right now Kool-Aid's having to do like number 1 things,
and he admittedly doing all right at it.
Yeah,
but it just would be better if he doesn't have to. Also, just throwing this out there, Jonas Sanker might be a draft hit for me early on. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Also, one of the few shorts we have on this channel, and hopefully there'll be more at some point. Anyway, I would go Mansour Delane pretty easily. Are we going to do the thing?
Could this be an Omar Cooper Jr. spot?
That's the problem. Is I want to take Mekhi Lemon because that's what I was hearing for the last month in a row.
Yeah, Mekhi Lemon's like the consensus,
right?
Yeah.
But then now some people are like, what if it's Omar Cooper Jr.? And I'm like, wait a minute. I like Omar Cooper Jr. a lot. You're going to take him over Mekhi Lemon to play the slot for you? I don't know about that one, Chief.
So it is also on the whole like wide receiver thing. Like, is Puka for sure like not playing for them next year? Or
that's
like,
not the problem. Apparently, it's that Mekhi
I think
Lemon is
he's.
a Rams receiver through and through, and they're just going to make it work. Is what the plan seems to be.
I will say I think Mekhi Lemon is a better fit here. I
Yeah.
just have seen.
Me too.
It might just be smoke, but Omar Cooper just like keeps going up the board.
Yeah, and it's just fascinating.
But I don't know. If it was what I would do, I would say Lemon, but I don't predictive. I'm not sure. I still think it could very well be Lemon.
Yeah,
though.
I still think predictive. I'd go Lemon,
It just
but
makes
like
too much sense.
Yeah. I still think it'd be. Yeah, if it's a receiver not named Lemon here, and the two receivers that have already gone, I just would be floored by that based on what we've heard. Outside of the recent thing I just don't believe the Cooper Jr. top 20 thing. As much as I like him, I don't think he's going to the top.
Yeah, that's
20.
fair.
I think he's going 21.
Yeah. No, I honestly think that's the most likely spot for him. I just have seen that, so I want to.
Me too.
Out,
that's why I wanted to talk about it for sure. Because like they would be, are they crazy enough to take Sadiq and have like 5 tight ends? Because that would be the only other question.
Yeah.
They might do that shit. Just say fuck you guys. Too bad. We have 2 Oregon tight ends. We have both of them. Fuck you. Maybe they would do that. I don't know. But I also think Vega
a bigger Puka.
Yeah, like pretty much.
It's Puka on all the steroids.
Literally, like still somehow losing none of the speed somehow. I do think though for predicting here, I have a hard time not taking Lemon until proven otherwise.
Mekhi Lemon just makes too much
sense. I'm good with Lemon.
Yeah. Now this is where things get interesting. By the way,
but I think it's chalky pretty quick here. I think this is Vega, and then followed by Sadiq.
Ooh. Okay. Well, let's talk about the Vega thing. I totally agree that that's what the Ravens probably will do and should do. But what if they took Kenyon Sadiq?
That's just I get it.
Did they lose? They lost
likely
right?
They lost him and kept
Mark Andrews,
31-year-old Mark Andrews for some reason, which whatever. But
I mean, I could see
it.
The question to
me, their interior offensive line.
It also would help because
it's not good.
It also would help when your wide receiver one is say Flowers.
That's the problem. Is like your offensive line isn't good, but even if you get the offensive line figured out, who's he throwing to other than Zay Flowers right now?
True, and they did just sign John Simpson.
They did. They brought him back. Now they still need another starting guard, realistically.
Yeah, because Andrew Voorhees is not
probably not the guy. Is he better than Falele? Yes. So maybe that group will be slightly better next year by default. But I just can't get out of my head. I'm like, I could see those motherfuckers drafting Kenyon Sadiq, and he's great.
Yeah,
I could just see that, and I'm not saying we should make that pick necessarily, but I keep thinking about it.
But and there's also the argument that like, how good does especially your interior offensive line need to be when Lamar Jackson's your quarterback?
There is that question because outside of him being hurt last year, I don't think it would. Like if he didn't get hurt last year, I don't know if it would have been an issue for them. I'm not really 100% sure it would have been.
But also that is part of why he is getting hurt.
That is yeah. It's basically a damned if you do, damned if you don't. But which damned do you want to be?
But you could take Sadiq and then just where's their next pick?
I think they have their second round pick, right?
Yeah.
Which we're not doing anyway.
You could take Sadiq and just
hope you get a guard later.
And falls or trade backup.
The more I think about it, it feels like something those
Sadiq is by far
damn Ravens.
Yeah, Sadiq is by far the best offensive weapon in this class left at this point.
Yeah.
I don't have him by far, but like I get the sentiment. Yeah. Like he's the one I would take here though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be interesting to do that and see what happens.
I'm good with Sadiq because
I know you are, though.
I mean,
Jake, I know you are.
Yeah, I'm good with
if you're like if you're gonna decide between the line and an offensive weapon here, it makes more sense to take Sadiq and then try to get somebody on the line next.
I
Yeah.
think the caliber of player you're missing out on is higher by not taking Sadiq than it is if you. Yeah.
And I
Even
love
though
Vega.
I love Vega. I do too, but like the tight end class specifically, just the playmakers you can get after like pick like 32 in this class, just it's not the same.
Yeah. And how much longer is Mark Andrews like gonna still?
I'm surprised he's still going right now.
Like,
Yeah.
So there's
And
that.
also, you can make your interior better by just taking one of the many centers in this
because they do need to do that
moving
too.
Bullock to guard.
That's yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can definitely look to do that.
I'm on the Sadiq train. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. It's just different a little bit. Now the Bucks up on the board. Do we think?
Towel or
Do,
whoever.
yeah, who do we? Yeah, who did JT? Yeah, Cassius Howe. Here's the problem. Do we think that they are a team that believes in Keldrick Falk?
This is a team that I've also seen trade back smoke with.
Yeah.
I don't know who. Maybe Vega, but I don't really know who teams are trading up for at this point. But
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna fight
the
me on this.
What if the Steelers want to trade up to get ahead of the Jets and take Vega?
Well,
do you think that's possible at all?
I think the Steelers might want to get ahead of the Jets, but it's not for Vega.
For Cooper Jr. is what it would be for me.
It's
Makai Lemon.
I'm wondering.
He's off the board.
I'm wondering if the Steelers would move up ahead of the Jets for Tyson.
If they did, I won't watch their games and I will quit my job. I don't think the Jets are a threat to take him at 16 at all. Personally,
it could be smoke, but Art Rooney did say that, like, he doesn't.
The one, he literally said out loud, like, the one position I wouldn't worry about is taking his quarterback, which that could
be a lie.
Yeah,
but I don't think it is. I think he's being serious. I think he's just like, we're not doing that again because they've been through this once already. They know what it looks like to take a quarterback of this caliber in the first round.
True.
And I don't think they're going to do it again. I also don't think the Jets will take him 16 anyway. I really don't. I think the Jets are the Jets, but they're not that much the Jets.
Yeah,
frankly.
Believe in Geno Smith.
I think if they didn't trade for Geno Smith, which is still such a funny thing, if they didn't do that to get them through this season, that'd be different.
True.
But they did that, so I'm not worried about that happening. Now, if they wanted to jump them for Cooper Jr., who has been heavily mocked to them at 16 recently, that would be something I would consider. But I don't know if the Steelers would move up necessarily for him.
Who
are the other receivers on the board at this point?
KC it'd be Cooper Jr. and KC and Denzel Boston.
Instead of a trade up, what if the any chance that this is Peter Woods to the Bucks here?
I think the NFL is just low on Peter Woods though. That's the problem. I've just heard like no buzz about him going in the top 25 even really recently.
Gotcha.
Unless you guys have felt different.
Signed Ashawn Robinson too.
Yeah, like
they have Kalijah Kancey and Vita Vea. Yeah, they don't really need.
Do you guys think? Let me actually pull. Maybe we're overthinking this depth chart. Bucks. Do we think Ben Bredesen is keeping them from drafting Vega? You want to just doing it because he's the best player on the board? Say fuck it.
No.
Are we overthinking this? Maybe, if this is the situation. Did they just take the win and say this guy fell past the rate, like just not expecting him to be here, and just said, well, we don't like the edges or linebackers enough, and that's our biggest position of need, and just take them.
Yeah, and they might.
Fair.
And even if they want to trade back, I just don't know who's.
Yeah, I don't
going
know,
up for who at this point. So
I guess if the Steelers actually do love Vega, they would move up potentially, but I don't think they're going to do that.
Or Kansas City moving up for.
Yeah, and with Vega getting past 14, also, I think it becomes more likely that he gets. I mean, like a team like the Lions or
Yeah, but
You
they
know,
need a
like,
tackle.
he could still get taken, but
Would the Chiefs move up for like Lomu or a left tackle here?
I don't think they'd move up yet because the tackles haven't gone outside of Fano
True.
and Mauinoa. But I think that might be something we consider at some point. I
Yeah.
might just stick in, like, just for the sake of, like, because they feel like a team that would just be like, oh, you know what? We'll just take the guy that probably the Ravens we think should have taken.
I could see that. Yeah.
Feels like something Jason Light would do. If we don't want to move down, because like I just have a hard time picking any
I mean, yeah,
of their needs here at 15.
It's kind of BPA here.
Yeah,
Listen, Dalton, you have Falk at 15. So like, do you think he actually will go that high ultimately?
Not to this team. I just don't see it. I don't see him as.
He's definitely not the type they need, but
he's not a 3-4 edge, even though like he has built his body to be that. I don't. He's a 4-3.
I don't think so either. Yeah. I kind of think we just stick and pick Vega and just keep it moving.
I'm okay with that.
Because I think he goes in this range somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe if we don't want to do a trade right now.
Yeah. And then what did the Jets do earlier?
They took Reese. Too. We took
Reese. Okay.
Now the smoke recently has been Omar Cooper Jr. I'm just going to throw that out there. That seems to be the favorite pick recently. If Tyson's off the board, which he is in this situation, I don't know for sure that I see that happening, but I do think that that's something to consider here. Thieneman also potentially.
Yeah.
Because Minka's only probably a stopgap situation at safety / like nickel right now.
Yeah, and I did hear Peter Schrager say he thinks the top 3 safeties are all gone in the top half of the first round.
Whoa,
but
like top 20. You mean probably?
Yeah, I think he said top 15. I don't agree with that, but he said he was hearing that. Yeah,
I know some teams like McNeil Warren a lot, but
yeah,
I'm wondering if this is a move down because there's nobody to me. There's nobody like really jumping out to me for them, and like they're not worried about winning right now, anyways.
Yeah, but also like they have so much draft capital already this year and next. I don't know if they would trade down unless they don't like any of the players here, which I feel like they would like at least one of Thieneman or one of the receivers.
But who is worth like I don't who are teams trading up for?
That's the problem too. Yeah, at this point in the draft. What were you saying, Dalton?
No, I'm not. Never mind. It doesn't make any sense.
I think actually one that I don't know how much I believe in what I'm about to say, to be fair, but I've heard some stuff about teams, and again, teams love size at this position. I've heard some smoke that Boston might go earlier than we think.
I mean,
yeah. Did they meet with him?
Like true outside receivers? Yeah, he makes the most sense for them here.
I'm curious.
But they move down.
Yes, but I'm saying again, like I wonder if they want to move down if they don't need to because they already have so much draft capital. They kind of need to use some of these picks on players, like soon.
Yeah. They did meet with Boston.
They met with Boston and Cooper Jr., which to me makes me think that either one of them could be in play at 16. But they also might think that Boston would be their 33 if I'm wrong about the stuff I've heard about him. They're a tough one. Man.
Yeah, I'm okay with a receiver here because I just don't know like what else.
Would Aaron Glenn like Keldrick Falk? They traded Jermaine Johnson.
Keldrick Falk, but they took Reese.
Yeah, but they are not even close to the same player.
True.
Yeah, I mean,
would they double dip at edge?
Would they consider? Would they want Falk to maybe be more of like an interior player though for them?
I just don't.
Oh, that is a good point.
With what he weighed, I just don't.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Yeah. You're right.
I just don't think he is.
Now, maybe if
they go
Peter
Woods here.
again, that just comes down to like what level of confidence you think the league is going to still take him high, because I just don't have it right now. And I haven't heard it, right? Like it'd be different if like we're just basing off like evaluations. It'd be one thing.
I just think that these NFL scouting departments are full of guys that have been scouting these guys for years.
Yeah.
And like I just don't think that there's 32 scouting departments that are going to be like, yeah, that guy that we watched dominate the entire league in 2024, yeah, we forgot about him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not against doing it. I just, again, like, I'm just curious, especially like Jake, if you heard anything differently than that as far as the league being higher on Woods than consensus.
No.
Right. That's what sucks with that.
Yeah.
Is like, I think that you're right though, that it only takes one team to do it. I mean, I'm willing to do it for the sake of trying something different.
Oh, and I also like him more. He makes a lot of sense to Detroit.
I think I'm gonna push for a tackle to them though.
Yeah.
Because that just makes too much sense.
And if you are gonna go like if your mindset is moving, like taking Falk and putting him inside, then maybe just taking Woods.
Yeah, like if that's the mindset,
good idea in that situation.
Also, if the McCoy injury stuff wasn't happening right now, I would love to take him here because he would be better in Glenn corner. But I don't know if the team will do that.
I don't know. But also, like, they're a team that like isn't planning on winning right now, so like they could. Do
you want to do that and just send a ticket in for a guy that we think should go in the first round but won't, maybe? Because we could do that. He makes sense. He makes a lot of sense. What do you think?
I'm good with that. Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I honestly don't know what
very invested.
Yeah, maybe just see if they can just wait on him at 17. I know you guys are higher on him anyway, so you probably won't fight me too much. This feels like a Caden Proctor team.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like if they. Yeah, because they don't need left tackle necessarily.
They don't have to move Soul. They've said that they want to or they're going to, but that might just be because they anticipate needing to take a right tackle because most of the tackles in this class are right tackles. Proctor might end up being a guard for them long term, in my opinion, but I think they could view him as like a suitable tackle for now.
Fair.
That feels like an option for them. The thing I would maybe do is like, if they don't want, like, would they take the leap on Monitor this early? Because he is the right tackle, and then do they think that he can develop with them? That would be the two that I would immediately think.
Proctor's just more their guy.
Probably. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You like Proctor there? That feels a little chalky-ish, at least at this point in time. Speaking of chalk,
Thieneman?
Yeah,
probably Thieneman. Hey, if you have one weight safety for 15 years, you're trying to find the next one. No, I think this makes sense, and also like I know the Vikings fans probably hate it by now because it's like one of the weirdest like chalk picks this far down the board, but I think that it's probably going to happen. Panthers. Is this a sneaky if they don't believe Akwanu's long-term health and also don't think that Rasheed Walker is the future? Is this a sneaky like Monroe Freeling team and set him for a year?
I would think more Lomu if that's what you're gonna do.
But do you think that the league's higher on Lomu than Freeling, or is it the opposite?
I mean, I think the Panthers will be. They've been big on Utah guys in the past.
Okay.
Right, if I remember correctly, they have a few.
I think that sounds right. That's not mad. This is also, as much as it seems insane, this is also a sneaky receiver pick here. Because Leggett was a flame out, and they kind of need someone other than just Coker and McMillan. But I don't know if I would take that over some of the other guys here.
I mean, Peter Woods also feels very interesting to me.
He is very much not the type of defensive tackle they currently employ.
Yeah, because they could do a lot of things. They could have him be more like the 4-eye, and they could also
low moving costs.
What's that?
Low moving costs.
Yeah. They could also like move Derek Brown more inside then too, in some alignments.
Yeah, because if they took him, so you're like starting 3 would probably be
I mean, he probably
Woods,
just replaces.
Brown, and either Bobby Brown or Treshaun Wharton, depending on passing down
Yeah, he
situations.
probably replaces Wharton on the first two, or he probably replaces Wharton on the first 2 downs, and then Brown probably comes off on 3rd down.
Yeah.
And Derek Brown just moves inside.
I mean, if we want to get Woods in the first round, this is as good a spot as any, probably. So
him falling to 19 even still seems crazy. Like
I know, especially for your evaluation, but again, I think the league is unfortunately for him closer to how I especially feel, where it's like everything has just been so weird for like a year in a row now.
Yeah,
that it's like hard to figure out. I've heard a lot of recent stuff saying that there's a chance that no defensive tackle goes in the top 32 picks. Like we might just not have a defensive tackle in the first round, which is that even I'm like that's a lot, but yeah, maybe. I'm good with it if you are, Jake, because I think getting him off the board here makes a lot of sense. Cowboys, so they got their guy David Bailey off the edge. Do we think they consider a linebacker this early of any kind? Not necessarily the one that I would consider here, but like just in general. Because I know that we're lower on CJ Allen overall, but I know he's been a popular pick here in the past, not as much recently.
This could be. So the Cowboys are now that they've done the Jerry thing.
Yeah,
the Cowboys with their mid first round picks have been very good about very boring picks and like taking Monroe Freeling or Lomu to develop would be a very Cowboys thing to do.
That's true.
They could be starting by the end of this year and probably be pretty solid.
That's fair. Do we think that they're the team that would like? I know that I think in general some of the consensus is falling on him, but he's still 20 on the like consensus board that we have here. Do we think that there would be a team that would take Avion Terrell? I think he still goes in the first round.
Do they need a nickel though, really?
I don't know if they would necessarily view him as one, but if they did, I think that would allow you to put Bland back on the outside, which is where he'd play in the situation.
It seems like a bad fit.
Yeah, but we're also drafting for the Cowboys. No, I was kidding. They draft well. That's not.
Yeah.
That's just something I've heard. They've been connected to him for a while. That's why I was asking the question.
Yeah, I just don't think a lot of talking heads see the right things with Terrell in general.
Yeah, I get that. I'm with you there. Man,
this feels like an offensive line pick.
I would like it for them if they did that. I think if I was going to do it, I would actually take Ihanicher though to replace Steele on the right side. I think that's something they would do. Take the kid that needs some time to develop but has all the tools.
Yeah.
That feels like something they would do.
Yeah, they'd get roasted for it, and then in 2 years
it'd be workout. It would be fine.
Bro.
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah. What do you think, Jake? Is that the guy you'd be looking at attack, or do you think it'd be one of the Freeling Lomu guys there?
Yeah, I'd probably be okay with that.
That just feels like something they would do.
Yeah.
Like, because then we'd all be like, even though I'm higher on him, I think than either of you potentially, like mostly because the upside play. I'd be like, that's early, but then like 3 years from now, he's like, fringe Pro Bowl, and you're like, okay, whatever. It's fine.
And it's easier to do when it's your first round.
Yeah, and they've already moved up for the pass rusher.
Yeah.
So I'm going to heavily advocate for because of what I think is going to happen, Omar Cooper Jr. I think this is the pick if he's there.
You guys are more plugged in than me.
I agree with that. The only other person I think I would throw out at this point, I think they met with Boston, but I think they would go Cooper over him.
Yes, they did meet with Boston, but I doubt that they view him as higher on the board because of the type of player.
With McNeil Warren.
They did. That's an interesting one.
And there's not like past the 2026 season, there's not really anything at safety.
I agree.
So I think I would lean Omar Cooper Jr. here, but I would also consider Warren, just because like after this year, like I think Deshaun Elliott is
he's said to be
contract
afraid to
after
see
this
after
year.
this year. I think. Yeah,
Brisker is a 1-year deal. Savage is a
Yeah.
1-year deal.
it's certainly in play.
But I think I would still lean Omar Cooper. Like I'm
Me
good
too.
with that.
In my final mock that I did for
Just
this,
makes too much
like
sense.
this one, yeah, I had Cooper. Also, at the press conference before the pre-draft press conference on Monday, they asked McCarthy about like what type of receiver he wants in the slot, or whatever.
It's
And
a play everywhere.
he's a guy who can move inside and out, who's tough, all that stuff. And I'm like, so he described Omar Cooper Jr. basically. Like, okay.
Omar Cooper also, he talked on Jacina Anderson, her show today, and he was like, he's pretty much like, yeah, it'd be really cool if the Steelers drafted me.
Yeah, I feel like that's
I feel like it's, especially with how the board's going, I think that makes too much sense. So
I do think that's what they would ultimately do, personally. Yeah. So we'll do that. Chargers at 22. Go ahead.
I have a trade up idea here.
Okay, go ahead.
The Bears jump ahead of Philly to get Keldrick Folk.
Ooh, he is their type.
He is their
makes
type,
some sense.
and they'd also be worried about the Eagles taking him because he's a freak athlete. That they'd be worried the Eagles would just be like, yeah, we'll find a way to make him work.
Yeah, I could see them being worried about that. Oops, sorry, not this. It'd be the Bears and Chargers. Chargers, yeah, they wouldn't mind moving down in the situation.
No.
The Bears don't have a ton of later picks, but I think if we do 22 and what if we did just 129 would actually work, apparently.
Makes sense. And it's only like a couple spots down. And the Chargers for them, like 129, I feel like has a lot of value if you're the Chargers.
Yeah, for them because they have nothing in between.
Yeah, and I don't think moving down 3 spots really hurts them too much.
Not at all.
No, it doesn't. Not for what they actually want, realistically.
Yeah.
So, and then we're taking here. You said, I think that
makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
I would hate it personally, but they would do it.
See, I think if he falls this far, I think someone's gonna move up to pounce on him just because the ceiling is so high.
Yeah. So this is one of 4 players in my opinion, which makes it hard. But I think they either take the swing on Freeling for a future tackle. I think they get the immediate pass rush help in Mesidor, or they take a receiver because they're trading AJ Brown.
I think this might be Freeling just because.
If there's ever been an Eagles-looking tackle of all time, it's that guy.
If you're trading, but if you want a receiver to replace AJ Brown, who are you taking at this point?
I mean, I don't know if you need to necessarily replace AJ Brown exactly.
Not
style.
Yeah.
I think that they would probably, because of the type of receivers they have on the roster, probably go Boston. But it's early for me. But also, I could see them being like, we need the big body down the field guy.
Yeah, but I don't know if Boston has enough
juice.
Speed.
Juice. That's the issue. Does he have the juice
for their offense? Because like the reason why AJ Brown is so effective is because he's got that juice.
He does. He drinks his juice and he has the juice. I bet.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, I think it'd be either a receiver, whoever you choose to go with there. The immediate pass rush help, Monroe Freeling. Probably Freeling is where I'm guessing you guys are leaning.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, soft rebuild for the Eagles. Like,
I would do it because I don't think they're good enough unless everything is perfect.
Yeah,
and the quarterback is
wouldn't
playing
be
better.
Surprised if they run their quarterback out of town in the next.
I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, maybe they can take Ty Simpson at some point. No, I'm just kidding. We'll do
Green would be a hilarious pick for them.
Very funny. Yeah, I think we'll do Freeling if you guys want to do that.
Yeah,
feels like something they would do. Like this guy was talked about at pick 6 2 months ago. Let's get him at 23. Browns, Lomu.
What did they do before?
Tate.
Yeah, this is Lomu. Yeah,
Lomu. You think?
Yeah,
based on Freeling just going off the board.
Yep.
Think so, Jake? Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Lomu.
What was their first pick again? That we did?
Tate, Cardinal Tate.
Oh yeah, then Lomu, I'm good with that.
Yeah, probably Lomu. Chargers are now at 25. Akeem Mesidor?
See, I was between two guys. I was between Caden McDonald or Denzel Boston.
Ooh.
I was gonna say Caden McDonald, but
I would like Caden McDonald.
I could see that as well.
I like Caden McDonald here too, but I wonder.
Do it,
man.
Maybe a McNeil Warren spot, like maybe
they don't have a lot of safeties. Do we think that this idea that guards are going to go earlier than we think is going to be a real thing? And do we consider one of the guards for them?
I have. If we are, I have heard a lot of
Basantis,
first round. Yeah, Basantis. I forgot his name, but
It's
yeah, I've heard a lot of like late first round stuff.
It is early for us, but also like
so early.
But man, like Chargers' offensive interior is so fucking awful. They should wait and take one on day 2. But they might all go, and then they're screwed.
Yeah,
like we had.
What
like
happened to us?
You pretty much is what almost had. Like we almost had it happen, basically.
Yeah, we got we
got
all
lucky.
took Dunker somewhat early.
Especially for me, but in general, we took them a little bit early. So like they could do that, but I do think you're right that like the Harbaugh pick is McDonald and just says, "Good luck running on my defense. Fuck you."
Yeah.
Like that's what
they do need to.
I think
they do.
Yeah, I think McDonald makes a lot of sense here.
It's either him or Mesidor, but to me,
you can't moneyball up front like for that long and expect it to work.
No, I don't think so. I'm good with McDonald here. It's just about on
range.
Yeah. Bills. This feels like Concepcion.
Yeah, I think KC is good enough to go higher than this, so I think it's 26. Yeah, like, I get it.
He has enough 50-50 skills that I'm okay with taking him over Boston because I think he's good enough on contested catches.
Yeah, I also just think Boston, like, even if I think he's a better player than Keon Coleman, I don't know if the Bills are going to take someone that is sort of Keon Coleman coded this early again.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, even though I think he's better than him by a good bit as a player.
Especially after the whole, like,
basically telling him to fuck off situation.
Keon Coleman thing was this offseason.
The Keon Coleman got everyone in the building fired except for the people you're talking to right now. That was weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. That feels like a good bet. I know that some people like cash.
I feel like I've seen
for him.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen Casey.
I can't in good conscience.
It's a common pick for them. It's a common pick for them. I'm not saying they should do it, but
is this also maybe a McNeil Warren spot?
Maybe. Who's the safety?
I'm struggling to remember who their safeties are.
It's Cole Bishop and somebody else.
Their depth chart.
Yeah, Bills depth chart.
I don't know why I can't remember any of their safeties.
I know it's Cole Bishop and fucking Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was signed this offseason, which that's interesting.
When did he start going by Chauncey?
That's just his actual name, but I think I think he's still talked about. Oh, fucking Geno Stone, get him out.
DeMar Hamlin.
DeMar Hamlin's still on this football team.
Short. Yeah, he's.
That's
according to our lads.
All right, cool.
That's what I'm using.
Not a lot there though. But I'm good with Casey here though. Also, I think that.
Yeah.
I think that does.
Yeah,
we'll do
Casey. Make my heart warm. I think if he goes to the Bills, he'll be good, which makes me happy.
Yeah, I've seen him mocked there. It's fun too.
Me too. That's why I brought his name up immediately. Niners.
Parker.
Maybe. I've heard some Blake Miller smoke recently.
I was gonna say Blake Miller. I can see Parker too.
I know you're not a big fan of his, Dalton, but I know that he's apparently well liked.
Would Boston be in play here?
I think KC would have been here if he was still here. I think he would have been in play.
Yeah, I agree. He's better fit, but also like, oh yeah, they just signed. Never mind, they just signed Mike Evans. They're not taking Denzel Boston.
Probably not.
Person.
Yeah, maybe right now.
Right now, yeah.
Maybe right now. There's a good comp for Denzel Boston. 33-year-old Mike Evans. That's so fucked up. It's so fucked. It's actually probably not that mean because Mike Evans is probably still pretty good, but it's just not what you want to hear. Niners. I do think like, could they be a McNeil Warren team? Who the fuck's playing safety for the Niners right now? Probably nobody because they always get hurt. But
I mean, I think this is like the spot that McNeil Warren would go.
Jair Brown and Malik Mustafa. I like Malik Mustafa, but he doesn't play.
I like
Actually, I don't know if I can really make that argument because I don't think anyone for the Niners play. So I don't know. He makes sense. Who's playing?
Yeah, they don't have a ton of depth at the safety.
They don't. Yeah, they have someone named Derek Canteen.
I've never seen
Derek Forrest ahead of him somehow.
Do you think the league sees
Sorry, go ahead.
McNeil Warren that high?
I think late. I mean, it's 27. Like, it's not really
the Toledo of it all as well.
I've seen a lot of
people
say. I've seen a lot of people say that he's like a late first round guy. So I think at 27 it does make sense.
This is roughly where I have him. But
yeah. I mean, I've also seen a couple people say that he could go in the top half of the first round, which I don't believe. But
no, I don't believe that. No,
I think like,
ooh, could they be a Mesidor team trying to go for it?
Oh God,
because like Bose is coming off an injury. The guy I don't like is coming off an injury. What's his name again?
But then does McNeil Warren make more sense if you're going for it? Because that's probably your bigger hole.
Probably, but a safety is a safety
True.
Sometimes, depending on the situation.
Mesidor would be a wild pick here.
He would be a wild pick, but like it might just be crazy enough to work. Michael Williams could just fuck shit up on first and second down when he gets back, whenever he's healthy, and then you just bring in Mesidor and be like, hey, go hunt the quarterback with Nick Bosa. Have a good time. That would make some sense. I don't know if they would do that though. To be honest with you, I'm not sure how they would do the age thing. This is a tougher pick than I thought it was going to be.
Do the Chiefs move up here?
Who are they jumping the Texans for, though, you think? Blake Miller?
Oh, yeah. Or never mind.
They could go. They could
jump
the Texans for Blake Miller, but I don't know if the Texans would take.
No, I think that there's a different offensive lineman that I think the Texans are taking.
Okay. We'll get there. The more I think about it, I actually kind of like the McNeil Warren pick there.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
I mean, they could use like just a big run stuff in safety.
Yeah. All right. Speak your piece.
This is Besantis, right?
I knew you were gonna say
Besantis. Could be.
Like I don't even like Besantis here, but like this feels like if you're the Texans, right? If you feel like guard's your biggest need,
let's see,
and you don't. Although they did just bring in a bunch of guards, didn't they?
They have. Well, they never are. They signed Wyatt Teller, and they have Ed Ingram back too. And they signed Braden Smith to play right tackle.
None of that makes me happy.
No, but you're right. It doesn't. Who would they take though, if they don't take him? And I still think Blake. I still have this feeling Blake Miller's going in the first round, and I don't know. I don't know where, but I think someone takes him. I don't think it's them necessarily. Could be 29.
Yeah.
Something I've heard recently, and take this for what it's worth. I know that I'm the highest on him in this group, so maybe this is just part of me thinking this way. I personally think that D'Amico Ryans would fucking love Jacob Rodriguez.
I don't think that.
And literally every linebacker on their team, I'm pretty sure, is up for a contract next year. So, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but they're also guys that like. I don't know if they need to take a linebacker in the first round. Like,
need to? No. But I think, I feel like D'Amico Ryans would see Jacob Rodriguez and what he was doing at Texas Tech last year and be like, that guy fucking rocks. Whether he's right or wrong about that ultimately, I could see that. Just something.
But I can also see him just saying, I'll just take Josiah Trotter in the third round.
Maybe. You're right. That's also possible. Just wanted to throw that out there. I
Yeah,
do
no,
think
I don't
Besantis
hate
is
it.
possible. Yeah,
I just like, to me, guard is so thin,
yeah.
and they need offensive line help. And
I'm okay with taking Besantis.
and
both
like
of their-
they
I can
have
see it
the
happening.
luxury of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Besantis makes sense here. Both of their starting linebackers are free agents after this year.
Yeah.
So maybe
But
Rodriguez.
you're
I'm
right,
okay with
Dalton,
Besantis
that
also.
they might. Yeah, they also could try to get him at 38.
Yeah,
Not that we're going to be
Think-
doing second round in this
I
situation.
would almost.
Yeah,
I would be surprised if he wasn't there at 38.
I still think that too, but I'm okay with doing Besantis because I do keep hearing shit about, like you said, Jake, about him going in the first round. I think it's a little bit nuts, but I do think that it will happen at this point potentially. So
And also, like,
Yeah.
if Rodriguez really isn't there at 38, CJ Allen probably will be. And
which would
like,
be about 20 picks too early. I don't care. That's fine. The Chiefs at 29. I still think that they are looking at offensive line now that they've addressed
yeah,
the edge spot. I think it would be Blake Miller in this situation to
Yeah.
be the right tackle opposite of Josh
Yeah.
Simmons.
yeah,
sounds
I
good.
think so too.
Yeah, so I think that would be it. Dolphins. I think based on the board here, would either be Denzel Boston because they took we took Fano at 11, so they took
Yeah.
they ate their vegetables. Boston to be not who they have at receiver, which is good if it's anyone, or the fit at corner for them would be Chris Johnson. If we think Chris Johnson might be taken in the first round, because he
I
is
think he
exactly
could
what
be.
Hafley would like as a corner with that off coverage feel and zone coverage. I think one of those two would be who I would go with here.
I definitely think Johnson could go in this range.
How do we feel, Dalton?
I'm kind of, I don't know. I would more lean Boston. I feel like if they're gonna go corner here, it would. I like Hood more, even in their off man system. I don't think Hood would be that bad of a fit.
I don't think so either, but I just feel like Chris Johnson would be exactly who Hafley would
Yeah.
be targeting. Is what I'm saying.
I agree.
Even if I have Hood ahead
It
of
feels early.
yeah, it's a little bit, but it's not like egregious. I know you might advocate for TJ Parker here too as a power rusher off the edge. I think that would
Yeah.
also be in play for them, but I feel like they're more looking at someone down the board potentially to fill that spot.
Yeah.
'Cause they added a bunch of guys to the edge room that like aren't necessarily good, but are bodies there.
So
at
if they
least.
do need a power rusher, would they go Malachi Lawrence here?
Oh, I don't think so. Mesidor's still on the board, but they're not the team to take
Yeah.
Mesidor because they're like 7 years away from being good.
He might be 35 by the time.
I'm gonna be
might be out of the league by the time
I'm gonna be
they're good.
I'm gonna be covering this team in my mid-30s before they're good. By the way, if I keep covering them, I would probably go Boston here personally to get that weapon on the outside. Their receiving course is so fucking.
You
bad.
you just have to help the quarterback after you literally.
Yeah.
did
I hope so.
The quarterback the whole offseason.
I hope so. Jesus Christ, Mesidor is such a slam dunk. By the way, for the Patriots, if he falls this far,
Yeah.
Yeah.
immediate like impact help. Yeah, that makes too much sense. And then the Seattle
They
Seahawks.
desperately want to trade.
They do.
But I don't
Yeah.
know who is trading up at this spot though.
I think
Could this be a
is
Ty Simpson trade spot?
This is
Yeah.
a Ty Simpson trade.
The Ty Simpson
Yeah.
trade? Is it the Cardinals?
I mean, because who do the Jets have the 33rd pick, or is it?
They do. They do.
This
Yeah, I
feels
think
like
if you're worried
Cardinals.
about them taking him there, then
yeah,
Cardinals do a little quick flippy flop. 34,
yeah, and
33.
like I don't think it's a secret that Joe Sheen said we're not afraid of trade. Like mentioned specifically that like they're okay with trading within their division.
Joe Shane.
Is that his name? The
No.
Schneider.
Oh, John Schneider.
Schneider. Sorry, yeah.
You're thinking of the guy who doesn't actually have the GM title anymore in New York.
And then we think they give up 143. Yeah,
Probably just 143.
do you think you can maybe get away with 183, or that might be too low?
That's probably too low. It says likely accept. I don't think
Yeah,
that
I
Seattle
think it's
moving
probably
on
too low.
for. You could
Is
get
this
both
one
of
of
them.
those things where they have to give up a little more because otherwise the Jets will just.
You know what? Actually, I like the idea of giving up these 2
Yeah.
picks because
Yeah.
it bridges the gap between these picks, and you get some capital in that section.
Yeah.
And you go
And
2 later.
it's a division trade, so Seattle could just say like "fuck you" if you want.
Yeah, and
Tyson
also
Sue.
the Cardinals,
Yeah.
they've already taken the guy at 3. They would have 3 more picks after this.
Yeah.
To do 4 more. 3 more
Yeah.
picks. We'll do that. And we're taking, unfortunately,
He is a first
Cardinal
round
fans.
QB.
He's
He's
first
gonna
round.
go in the first round.
We're
Like,
taking Diego Pavia.
Apparently, I heard that he's gonna get drafted.
I've heard that he's short.
I could not imagine a team spending one of their draft picks on Diego Pavia.
He's met
Some
with
of
a
us-
couple of teams, I think, and like.
Well, I
teams are-
would meet with him too, just to be like, "Are you really for real?"
He has CFL / UFL like
Yeah.
MVP written all over him.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is
All right.
our predictive mock, guys.
I like it.
Definitely, I will try to tweet this out sometime between now and before the draft if I remember, which means I won't, but it's fine. I'll figure it out. Cool, crisp 3-hour 45-minute show. So this is fun. Might be
Hey,
longer
last one
than
before the draft.
Might be longer than the live
Yeah.
show we do on Thursday night, which would be funny if it was. Probably not actually, because the draft takes forever. But hey, we got our boards in, we got our predictive mock,
Yeah.
and now all we do, at least for those of you watching home, hopefully all you do is your normal stuff until the draft. For me, it's going to be probably writing / publishing 58 articles between now and Thursday. So
Yeah, this is gonna be
fun.
the busiest 5 days of work ever.
Yeah, I'm
Especially for you. Because I was thinking, we
Jake's
talking
like,
about
you in
live show on
particular are
Friday,
fucked.
and I was like,
Well,
oh,
yeah,
I
because
might-
you're writing
I
for
might
2
be
teams.
cooked
I
for
know.
that. So I have 4 picks to write about, and then I looked at the Dolphins picks, and I was like, oh, Shane's gonna die.
I'm conservatively predicting that I will either have to edit and publish and or write between the beginning of the draft Thursday until I would say I'll just keep it to like post draft, so like Sunday morning. I'm going to assume that I'm going to be writing myself or editing, publishing close to 100 articles.
If neither of the teams trade up, you might have 10 picks on day 2 alone to write about.
Literally, I think I did the math, and if they keep all their day 2 picks, 1 out of every 7 draft picks on day 2, I will have I will have some hand in needing to talk about, and that's not even including reverse content. If like the Ravens or someone else does bullshit that is worth writing about or whatever, or
Yeah.
the Dolphins with their with the Patriots or whatever, if they do something crazy. So yeah, I'm cooked. You might never hear from me again.
Yeah.
Might be the last time you see me after Thursday. But no, it'll be fun for sure. Don't worry about it. I won't die. I'll live. But
Hey, tune into the betting show tomorrow.
yes,
You'll
we'll
get
get
some
some
great
draft
picks.
bets. Draft
Draft
bets.
Oh, yeah.
So I just hit a plus 869 NBA parlay.
Nice.
The system is working.
The system.
Let's go.
Did the Lakers win then?
Yeah. So I hit
The
Sixers.
Lakers.
Sixers, Celtics under, Spurs, Trailblazers under, and Lakers money line at plus 869. Just a
Nice,
gross
nice.
parlay.
It's a gross parlay, but it hit, didn't it? So there
Yes,
you go.
sir.
But no, definitely check out the betting show tomorrow. Casey will also be on with us at some point
Yes.
during the live show for the draft, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
He'll probably make it so that whenever I inevitably have to check out for like however long-
Hopefully toward the back half, so that way
Yeah.
Shane has to
And
write.
maybe
Dalton doesn't have to solo the 40 minutes of
Casey
the draft.
will talk about the Niners drafting KC. Concepcion.
Concepcion.
What I did there.
Yeah, we know. We saw what you did.
It's time. It's bedtime.
It's hey, listen, it's bedtime for definitely Dalton, maybe Jake, not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's late for you guys. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, that's why I
Oh,
felt
it's
bad
only
about
10:30 here. So.
30?
Yes.
Yeah, my alarm's going off in 5 hours.
That's why I felt bad. That's why I was like, "You sure you want to
Yeah.
do it?"
This is when Pacific
night.
time comes in clutch.
Oh yeah, Jake's cooking right now. He's like, oh, this is fine. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be up till
Yeah.
like Jake's gonna be like, oh, it's 1:30. I need to go to bed. And I'm gonna still be up on the East Coast doing shit because I'm an asshole. Anyway, we'll see you guys Thursday night and tomorrow night. Definitely tune in for both those shows. It will be a lot of fun. And also, again, watch Dalton and maybe sort of Jake, sort of other people, maybe hopefully on Friday.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. We'll tweet that out when we know, but we'll figure it out. But that'll do it for us, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.